It's Friday, November 28th, 2025. All right, let's start off by reminding you that if you'd like to support our show, it is very easy. All you have to do is support ourShow.com. That's all you have to do. Actually, that works. There you go. So go to supportourshow.com. Oh boy, I actually, the reason I derailed myself was my mother earlier in the day when I was talking to her said, "Do you still do that thing where you and Lando talk?" That's what she thinks the podcast is. That's literally, I said, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what it is, right?
No, I know, but to her, I think she thinks I call you on Sundays for an hour. She has no idea what this is.
An hour?
Which is fine.
An hour would be light.
Well, I don't even get that far into it because I don't. she would be bewildered by what this is. But I thought of that as I was saying it because I was looking at something. Programming note, as I've mentioned before, but as a little bit of a preview. I will be on the trivia episode of Heartbeat Heroes radio show on December, did I say 3rd? Let me verify that. I always like to have my dates right. December, come on. Whoa, oh, oh, there is a reason that people might want to tune in. I will get to that. 13th, it's a Saturday. And now, I have a hunch that because of my answers, that he will probably end up doing this, but he had proposed doing the 2 truths and a lie thing.
Okay.
And I'm like, I can give you 2 truths and a lie that's going to be hard to discern from. So you may want to tune in. I'm not going to say what they are so that you can yourself try to figure out which one. But I came up with a couple of good ones. And then and then the lie was actually the hardest part. I'm like, well, what's a lie that sounds that it's up to the level of those other things? So.
No, honestly.
In any event.
The lie is supposed to be something that seems so mundane.
Well, that's kind of what I went for.
That people go for it, you know?
Well, what I ultimately did was I took something that actually happened and I modified a significant portion of it. Like one particular, the end result was something different. Everything up to that was actually happened, but it was only what the result was that was different. Because I'm like, that's just easier. So I'll do it that way. So that may be entertaining. I have a hunch. He was going back and forth on it, and then he saw mine. He went, whoa. And I'm like, yeah. No, those are true. So I have a hunch he'll use them. I forget that people don't have the lives we had sometimes and did some of the things we did. And I'm very boring, so that's saying something. But people live very traditional lives, I guess. There's certain things I say and people's eyes bug out and I'm like, really? Okay. But I went to art school, so I don't know. And I think that's it for programming. Oh, and the David Lynch double feature will be coming out, which I will admit I'm very happy with how I ended that edit. I found something unexpectedly poignant and beautiful, so I put that at the end. So even if you don't watch the rest, watch the last 5 minutes, because it was a really random occurrence that I think works very well. Like, I don't do a lot of edits and think that there's something emotional in the impact of it, but that one I think there is. So I will recommend it for that reason. You can skip the 3 hours and change in the front if you want. Although I'd say, watch the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes if you don't watch anything else, because I recreated the titles from Lost Highway, I think pretty well, for not having any idea how to do animation. And then the last 5 minutes, I think, are very nice. If you don't want to sit through the rest, I understand. So that'll be out on the... I don't know if I mentioned this. The late night video episodes, those now, if you're in the Patreon at any level, there's still no gated anything. You don't have to pay anything. Anything in there is the first of the month, whether it's a Monday or not. So I've given up my structure of Mondays for that. So that is the first of the month, even if it's a Sunday, which does make some of my brain cells kind of vibrate at a strange angle. But I've sealed it off and compartmentalized it as, well, that's for the Patreon members. They'll get it at 8 a.m. on whatever the first is, and everybody else gets the first Monday. Again, there's no fee for that, so you can hear it for free. And it's unrestricted, so there's no censorship on it. Even the censored YouTube one this time still is blocked in Russia, and 2 random countries don't like clips of movies even when there's no sound. And honestly, I don't fucking care. I am not going to go re-edit literal just video clips with no audio because somebody in Russia, and I don't even remember the second country, don't like just video. That's their free use line. Like, sorry, I don't care. I'm not. So if you're in those countries, you can only hear the audio version unless you're in the Patreon, in which case you can see everything, all of it, because stupid fucking copyright reasons or whatever. I don't understand it. Like I said, there's no audio. How? How is it a copyright violation if it could not possibly replicate what the movie would have been? There's literally no audio. It's me and Doug talking over clips. But I'm not going to relitigate this, again. Anyway, that's it. And the only other thing is, I'm trying to figure out literally right before we started recording. Oh, I guess there's no way to do this otherwise. Really? Oh, that's right. I did figure this out. Getting footage. This is just a small aside. So I mentioned a while ago that I got one of these little GoPro cameras because people had asked to see how I paint, like the process of me painting, which might be mildly entertaining. I also have a feeling it might make people vomit, but whatever. I can't. If it's that bad, I'll try to stabilize it. But anyway, I got one of these little GoPro cameras and a little thing that makes me look like the most dollar store Tony Stark in the world because it's a thing I put on that holds the camera on my chest. So it looks like I'm cosplaying as the world's saddest arc reactor owner, or whatever you call that little thing, because it's got a little light on it. So it's a little camera in the middle of my chest that's got a little light on it. So it does look.
You're dinosaur Tony Stark. Got it.
It's goofy. But the last time I tried to record it, the file was unreadable for some reason, even though it was like 5 gigabytes. So I don't know if this is going to work. But the weird part is on the Mac specifically, you have to do a very specific set of steps to access the footage on the camera. You have to use Spotlight, which I never, ever use. I don't use Spotlight for anything, except I have to use it for this because it's the only way to get the image capture thing to work properly. It is the most bizarre thing in the world. It's very strange. But it does work. So once I get that footage, if it's viable, I'll put that up there because I did. Oh, I didn't send you. So you saw the Dark Crystal painting, right?
Yeah.
So somebody said, hey, that looks like the castle from Vampire Hunter D. Which it didn't even occur to me, but there is a similarity there. Well, they do actually, because the person sent the picture.
Okay.
It's not 1-to-1, but there's a similarity in the way that the castle is presented. Actually, I think I can send you the image that the person sent me. Hold on. So I'll send this to you. This is great. Okay, so here it is. So I'm sending you what this person sent me, which is a capture from one of the episodes. I don't know which one specifically, but it's basically a blue sky and a big moon and a dark castle, which does, to some degree, I mean, it looks like a blend of the Dark Crystal Castle, the Skeksis Castle, and the Castlevania Castle, to me. Really, it looks like the two of them were kind of fused in a Kroll style where they were both teleported and ended up in the same place at the same time. So I went, oh yeah. Huh. And so then I thought, well, you know what? I mean, I just painted one castle.
Why don't you paint another?
No reason I can't take a stab at another one. But I didn't. This one I did entirely in a different way because I actually masked off the moon to make it that big. Mm-hmm. And I tried a color, and I had no idea if it was going to work. And let me tell you something, completely by accident, it is a perfect sort of moon texture for a base because I had to do it in 2 parts. I did the oil is the background. And then once that dries, it's going to take a couple weeks. Once it dries, I'm going to go in with the acrylic pens and do all the fine detail like I did with the Dark Crystal Castle. So I'm going to draw in the castle. I'm going to do all kinds of little detail stuff, put like some more colors. I'm going to like the actual landscape. That's all missing right now because that's all
writer in the foreground.
Something
with a big hat.
Yeah. Well, no. I don't like people. No people. Landscapes, architecture, no people. No. I don't even really like. Honestly, the only reason I think I'm going to start doing architecture is because I can use the acrylic pens so much better than I thought I could. Because using a paintbrush, I can't do any fine details. Somebody had said, "Oh, did you do the moon by hand?" I'm like, no. There is never going to be a universe in which I will have that kind of fine control with oil paint and a brush. It just doesn't happen. But an acrylic pen is essentially a fine point Sharpie with paint. That I can wield with a nice level of control. So that what you saw that I sent you is basically the first run, which is the background, and then I'm going to go in and put the foreground. Did I not just send it? Did I just text it to you? You didn't get both pictures?
No, I haven't.
Oh, well, I guess there's a delay. Yeah, it said it sent them to you.
Yeah, it's going to have to wander to space and come back and,
Yeah. So you'll see 2 images. One is what I was sent.
I'll either get it in 5 minutes or 5 hours.
Yeah, I don't think there's another way to send it. I don't think. Yeah. Oh, you know what? There is another way for me to send it. Oh my God, I have to get off this fucking mailing list. God, I hate being on mailing lists. Even the ones I You know what the problem with mailing lists are?
They spam
They
you?
never ever stay within the bounds of what they start as. So you say, okay, I just want to know when there's a new product. And that's how it starts. The first 4 months, it's just new products. Hey, we just launched this. You might be interested. Oh, okay, let me look. No, I'm not, but thank you for saying it because I asked for that. Okay. 4 months. That's fine. 4 months, 5 months. And then it's, we have a new product. Then you get an email. Oh, we're having a sale. Well, wait. I only want to know about new products.
Black Friday's coming.
And then it's, we're kickstarting
Christmas.
blah, blah, blah. We've partnered with Adidas on blah, blah. And I go, no.
Everybody
And then I
partners
have
with Adidas, the bastards. Adidas is a
I
whore.
know they are corporate whores. That's for sure. I've heard allegedly. So, yeah. Well, I'm saying it because I don't know if somebody from Adidas actually ever since the what do you call it the Subaru thing. Even though it seems very unlikely, there is a chance somebody from a corporate thing is listening.
Did he just
because
call
that
us
took me completely
whores?
by surprise.
We are not
Right.
whores.
So, and that's why allegedly it was very quickly added to that sentence. So, where was I going? Oh, yeah, so that's the problem with mailing lists.
You've grown up then. You've fully grown up here. You're now
because I say allegedly?
You're a grown-up podcaster.
Well, like I said, it's the Subaru thing is what really threw me. That really threw me off when somebody's like, no, we're still here and we'll send you some. Like, what? That and the Jeffrey Combs thing are the 2 things where I've kind of edged up against, real people stuff where it's
and to be fair, Subaru, even though they don't own it anymore and you can only get it from Amazon at this point, I think, they are still really cool. Like the actual
stuff's great. I just used it.
Great.
No, I just used it. Yeah. No, I used it the other day and it was the only thing I don't like about it. Mm-hmm. And this is not really a criticism. They can't really make it any smaller. Is there's times where
you need far less than you've got in the thing.
Just a block of it. And I've tried to save it, and it has not yet worked.
What I do is I try to line up projects.
And I ideally do too, but sometimes they're fixes, and fixes don't wait.
Yeah, and you're right. No,
That's
you're
the
right.
problem.
You're right.
It's a minor complaint, very minor complaint. It's just that I don't like wasting stuff. It's more of that.
You should have a.
Yeah.
You should have a wall or something somewhere where you just put a little bit of sucre every time you don't use it, and just let it build up into a.
Oh, just let it build up. I did sort of do that because we had some screw holes in walls.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, you know what? I just thought I'd use this. I'll patch this up with this.
That'll fill it up.
That
Yeah, I like
it
Subaru.
worked. It worked.
Still.
No, I love it. It's,
Allegedly,
you know.
allegedly, you know.
No, I know allegedly. I have used Sugru and continue to say that whatever their ownership may be, the product itself has been unchanged. So, all right, I figured out how to do it. So, okay, there in the Zoom for you
Oh, there it
is
is.
the image I was sent. Right?
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what somebody sent.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, and this,
It's
what I'm
bigger.
sending now. Oh, it's going to take a minute because it's a bigger image. That's what I painted as the background
Oh, it's pretty.
today.
Oh, look at that. You'll be a Bob Ross in no time. I like the moon.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, that was such an accident.
Are you gonna-
I really hope that video lives because you hear me going, "Holy shit, this looks great," which I don't
You're gonna
ever
have
say.
to be a sci-fi Bob Ross.
You know what? I honestly did think of the old kind of 70s book
Well, because
covers.
listen. Everybody's looking for something calming, something relaxing, and if you can do a kind of a relaxed, monotone, upbeat science fiction painting thing. I mean, there is no Bob Ross. It's a niche. You know what I mean? Like I haven't found anything that really does
Except
that
I don't,
for me.
I don't want calming and uplifting. I want sinister and foreboding. That's why I picked the colors I do. I didn't
I know-
realize that red was going to be as pink
Well, I
as it
know
was.
that, but you're not sinister and foreboding. You're like excited and love art.
Oh no, I delight in it. Yes,
That's what I
that part
mean.
I agree. Oh yeah,
The
no,
art can be
it's very fun.
the art can be sinister and foreboding. That's the joke of it, is that it's sinister and foreboding art, but you're going to do it in a very sort of, now we're going to paint a nice little moon. Oh, look at that moon. I'm so excited about this moon. You know?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate actually. Yeah, I really hope the video survives just so you can hear me.
Yeah. Whereas like
Flipping out about
anytime
it. Whoops.
I find myself doing art, so like I still tie dye now and then. That's my art. As silly as it is. But I still tie dye now and then. And like I would never want a video of me tie dyeing because I am such a grim potty mouth about the whole thing. Where I'm like, you fucking die. Where the fuck are you going? God damn it. It's like, son of a bitch. And then like when I apply ice to everything, my wife laughs because as long as the kids aren't home, the shit that I say about ice, you would think that the ice was alive and like directly trying to thwart me, the shit that I say. So it is not a it's not a positive experience for anybody.
Sure.
The potty mouth.
Well, the good news
experience.
is I see the video on the camera, so I think it survived this time. It's an MP4 format, so I think I can actually. It's like 50 minutes long, or so. I thought maybe the length was the last time because it was a little over an hour. Maybe it's an hour.
Well, there you go.
It chokes on.
Dime
so
store
I will
Tony
upload
Stark
that to
lives.
somewhere. Yeah. Oh, that's the other part. Is the angle is weird because it's not on my head, so I have to remember to have the camera trying to point at what I'm doing if I'm explaining something, which is mostly just me indicating that skill is not a requirement to be able to paint. You just have to kind of figure out what you like and don't like. I mean, you do have to be able to wash the brush. I will say that's the most important thing that you do need to remember to do. Because if you don't, you will end up with some weird colors. And maybe that's what you want. I may do one soon where I'm literally just taping off parts of the canvas and like fucking around with it and just seeing what it does. I don't know. But outside of that, it is just, have a good time with it type stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. Did
There
the
you
whole
go.
video survive? Holy shit. No
I never
way.
had luck with GoPros. I like GoPros. I like what people do with them. And they
Yeah.
survive things that are amazing. But yeah, I've never had any luck with them. Plus, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't do anything that anybody wants to see anyway. Like I said,
Well, I didn't really think so either, but like I said,
No, but
people had,
listen. The process of creating an image can be fascinating to watch. The process
Yeah.
of creating like a written page, it's like watching paint dry.
Oh yeah, that would be trickier. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, that's the one. That is the one. Now that you say it, the one art form that it would be tough to actually do a video on. I guess is the writing process is. It's just not a visually compelling one. I
no,
guess.
not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it never has been. I mean, that's the funny part about it. So I've said it before. Like the whole process is not, it's not an easy sell. It's not an easy, it doesn't get you laid in college,
Yeah.
So, but it doesn't matter. People like books.
They do, yeah.
So
It seems, yeah.
man, I thought I had something to talk to you about other than movies.
Oh,
But
I was waiting to see if you did have something to
no,
talk
I
about.
don't actually. I don't. But I wanted to bring up some stupid movies, to discuss because I
Stupid movies
saw
that you've seen or that
that
we
I've
saw?
seen. Yeah, separately. Yeah, that
All
I
right,
saw.
go ahead. Yeah, sure.
No, it's not us together. But
Okay.
so I watched Roadhouse the other day,
Oh, yeah.
right?
You
And
should
the
say
thing is,
the remake. The
the
remake.
remake.
Of
Oh yeah,
Roadhouse.
the remake, right?
Important
And
to
I
point
want to
this out.
say, like, I want to give this movie like a 5-minute review, which is essentially that, like, it is stupid fun. It's stupid, but it is stupid fun. And I realized the reason that I watched it, my wife had wanted to see it for a while. I think my wife was tired of me and Joe getting all our movie action in, and she decided that from now on we're having like 1 day a week movie time. And so the first movie that she picked was Roadhouse. But I had wanted to see it, and I realized I wanted to see it for one reason. I really like Doug Liman, and it made me realize that he is one of those directors that if I hear he's doing something, I'll watch it, even if I think it might not be great, because I really like his I like his combat direction. I like his action direction. And I came up with a really funny sort of like a comparison for Doug Liman. Remember when we played Helldivers? Not Helldivers.
No,
Outlander.
you mean
Outriders.
Outlanders.
Outriders.
Or
Remember we played
Outriders,
Outriders?
Outriders.
Yeah,
Yes.
Outriders. And we were like, this is a terrible game. But the the combat system is so good. And we played it all the way to the end, despite
Sure, yeah.
all the badness, right?
Yes.
Doug Liman is like the Outrider of directors for me. The movies are kind of dumb. The movies are kind of silly. But I really like the way he does action. And so, like, Doug Liman did the first... hold on a second. He did the first Bourne movie, and that's still the one that I like the most because the
Yes.
action sequences all feel very. Yeah, they feel
Non-shaky cam.
Yeah, I can follow them. I can see what's going on, and like when
second
you
one.
look,
Oh,
and when
boy.
you yeah, oh man, he throws the camera around like he's trying to kill you. And when
Well,
I look
it's
at
not
this
him,
guy's
so.
movies that he's done, there's a lot of them that I watched only because I like his. Wow, he was an executive producer on the Knight Rider, the Knight Rider remake. Look at that. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of
Thanks.
movies he did that I really liked them. I liked the way he did. No, it's not called Live Die Repeat. What's it called? What's the actual name for that movie?
Yeah, no, they changed it. It is now called Live, Die, Repeat, but it was called Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow? Is it Edge of Tomorrow?
Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah,
I
that's it.
found
Yeah, Edge of
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong list here. Fuck you.
No, you're right though.
No, I know that. I'm looking at the wrong list of his movies here.
Go.
yeah.
Go's another one.
Yes, Go is really good. Like, yeah, Swingers. Oh, yeah, you go. He directed Swingers. I always thought.
Yeah.
Oh, they're right. So I like Swingers, but there's no action in that. But Go is a really fun movie.
Right.
Born Identity is great. I watched Mr. and Mrs. Smith the other day, and it's a dumb movie, but I love the action. And a Jumper. Jumper is another dumb movie, but I like the way he just oriented the action in that, where it's like I can follow it. It's neat. It doesn't, he's not throwing a camera around the room. And then, yeah, Edge of Tomorrow is the same thing. So I realize he's one of those directors that I just like the way he does action. And even if the movie is bad otherwise, I know that it'll be fun. Like, this is weird to say, but like I would watch a Doug Liman, what's his name? John Wick movie. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
I feel like he would do a good job with something like that because he doesn't like that blurry, camera movements that you're like, what just happened? Who just hit who? I'm gonna throw up now. Like you can actually follow what's going on. Interesting. Invisible? I never even fucking heard of this. A VR series?
Oh.
Weird. Sorry, I'm just looking at something that he directed. A virtual reality series centering on a powerful New York family with the ability to control the world's economy by turning themselves invisible? And he directed this? I never even heard of this. Weird. Man, what the hell is a VR series?
I assume it's one you can only play on a VR headset. There is that stuff.
Weird. Oh, so you're like in the show?
Yeah, well, yeah, you could look around. So they filmed it with a 360 camera, I assume.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Well, either way, yeah. So I
yeah.
just realized that I like Doug Liman's stupid fun movies, and whenever he has something that comes out, I'm always like, hey, I'll watch that. Fuck yeah. Like, listen, if you're looking for high art, you don't watch Roadhouse. I mean, listen, the original isn't high art either. Patrick Swayze, is the kind of king of the low rent action movies.
Sure. Yeah.
I think what I like
That's why
about
we like it.
this reboot is that it doesn't take itself too seriously. I like the action, and if you want to see some astoundingly glorious bad acting, what is his name? Connor McKean. I almost called him Connor McLeod.
Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor. He's one of the villains in this movie, and it's like they knew he couldn't act, and they were like, "Just be crazy. You be as crazy as you want. Just act crazy." And it's so bad that it almost becomes endearing. You never have that in a movie where someone's bad acting it's almost endearing the earnest level of psychopath that he's trying to play. Like, he is a comedy muppet in that movie. Right? With the ability to murder at will. Right? He's a murderous comedy muppet. And then Jake Gyllenhaal, I don't know what they decided to do with that character, but he almost plays like he's got some level of like he's on the spectrum. Do you know what I mean? Like, because he's Patrick Swayze would like kind of sit in the bar and would kind of wait till the situation was like, where he really had to get involved. But you get this sense with like Jake Gyllenhaal, like he's really not bothered about anything. Like he's just kind of watching the world go by, and desperately wanting not to get involved, right?
Yeah.
Because he's worried that when he gets involved, and then he has this whole thing where he's like, don't get me angry. He's like, if I get angry, bad things will happen. And then of course they get him angry enough that he goes ballistic and he starts kicking the shit out of everybody.
Angry.
But the way,
I'm angry.
like, when an actor is so much better than the movie that they're in.
Oh yeah. Well, yes, yeah.
So like,
There's a lot of that.
Gyllenhaal is acting at a level that is like, his character is interesting, and you wish that the story matched the level of his acting on that character. But beyond that, no, it's stupid fun. The action is fun, and Conor McGregor is nuts. Like, he's just nuts. I mean, I get the sense that the director was like desperately trying to wrangle him. So, I just wanted to mention it. It's stupid fun. It's good to have some stupid fun on your roster of movies.
I wonder, maybe they were trying to play the two extremes where Gyllenhaal was very low key to a point where you almost wondered, and then Connor was on the other end, and that was
I know, but the joke
contrast?
of it is you've also got that in acting, where Gyllenhaal is such a good actor, and McGregor is not an actor. And then they fight,
And that's what I'm wondering, is if they realized that and his decision was, okay, then I can't have McGregor be so overshadowed by Gyllenhaal being good that I need him to tone it down by 18.
No, and the thing is, like,
I'm just going to have you yell a lot.
No, I mean, he basically told me, he's like, I want you to get it up to a 10 and just keep it there. And even his lines, I mean, he is both the villainous murderer of the movie and the comedy relief. Right? Like, once he shows up, I mean, literally when the movie starts,
don't forget,
he's naked.
That can be really good. Remember The Prophecy with Christopher Walken? Oh. Christopher Walken is the bad guy and is also the comic relief.
I mean, they literally start the movie with him naked, and I can't remember what he was doing, why he was naked. But either, I mean, that level of
This
detail.
is Conor McGregor, you mean, was naked?
Yeah, he was naked, and then he
because he's in good shape.
And then he ran. No, but he randomly walks into like a market, finds a guy who like has the right clothing size, and then just kicks the crap out of him and takes his clothes. And you're like, what? Like it's outside of the fighting and Gyllenhaal. The movie's like, it's stupid. It's so dumb, and yet McGregor is interesting to watch because it's such a, it's like, I'm trying to think if there's any other non-actor who's acted like this in a movie. You know what? Mike Tyson. You know how when Mike Tyson shows up in, I think it's the second Hangover movie.
Yeah.
You know, he's so nice, and he's like actually a lot of fun in that movie. And you're like, oh,
Sure.
you're like, and like, was he acting or was he just being himself? I mean, like you don't really know, but like he just comes off like a fun guy to be around. I mean, and I think he's the one that has the tiger, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. And that's the thing is like McGregor's character, like he's just a lot of fun. If I heard he was in another movie, I might watch it just to see what he does with his role. Like this is, I mean, it wouldn't be a good movie, but if I found out that I'm trying to think of a type of movie, if I found out that Danzig was doing a movie with Conor McGregor, I would have to see it. I would have to see it because I'd need to know what the fuck someone like Danzig was going to do with Conor McGregor. Because Conor McGregor will kill Danzig. You know? So, yeah, I did enjoy it as stupid fun. So I wanted to mention that. Because, you know, we go into a lot of fun, weird stuff, but it's not, you know, we don't always review the lighthearted shit, and this is light but weird. And I'd like Doug Liman.
Sure.
Like I will not relent on my support of Doug Liman. If he does movies, I watch him. Like I like what he does. I like his direction. And I think he's one of the few directors that I'll go see a movie just because I know he's directing it, just to see what he does with it, even if I never see it again. You know, because like Fincher, there's movies of Fincher that I'm like, I'm good. But with Liman, it's like, you know what? Ideally, if it's an action movie, he does good work. He knows to pull the camera back. He knows to let us see what's happening. You know, because it's like, what is the point of all this training you give these actors and all these stunt guys when you then make the action unwatchable? I mean, like you said, the second Bourne movie, there are good action sequences in that movie. It's just a shame you can't see them. Because whoever directed it decided that the best way to see it was, you know, with the camera being flung across the room at high speed, you know, and you're like, what? What? Like, yeah. So, fuck it. Yeah. Roadhouse. Didn't need it. No need to reboot the series, but it was a stupid fun to watch.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Stupid fun movies are good.
Yeah.
I don't mind them.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh man, what did I just watch recently? I just watched something. Oh man, what is that? I just watched something else really like that my kids had never seen. And True Lies. I watched True Lies with my kids recently because we're getting into light R territory finally. And you know, I forgot about that movie.
Yeah.
I forgot that. Wow, God, what's her name?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis is so incredibly sexy in that movie.
Okay. The only thing I really remember with crystal clear clarity from that movie is the scene where she's dancing and then falls down. I mean, it's in number one. It's highly appealing, and then it's hilarious.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. It's very funny, and she's very sexy all at once. Like that's
I agree.
That's a hat trick right there.
Yeah, it really is. Yes.
No,
I
always remember. Actually, what's funny about it is I always remember that Bill Paxton. And I actually, it's weird. I remembered Tom Arnold because I was always so stupefied that he suddenly was big. Like, how did Tom Arnold get big? Like, he basically.
Okay, when you say big, you mean popular, not big.
He became very popular, and they cast him in a movie opposite Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Well, you have to. Okay. What you have to remember is Tom Arnold did a lot of work on the Roseanne television series, and he is funny.
Oh,
if
no,
you
he
need
is
that
funny.
type of character.
And
that's what I'm saying.
But that's what I'm saying. I was not privy to his rise. So is it that he
rise,
was Roseanne?
I don't know that he was ever big.
Well, I mean, he went from not having.
Because it's not like he was in a million things. He was in that, and I want to say one other thing I ever saw. I'm sure he did stuff, but I don't think most people would say, "Oh, I remember multiple Tom Arnold movies." They might remember True Lies, and there's something I'm forgetting that he popped up on, but I can't even remember it. So how popular could it have been?
And his number
what
one
I'm
movie,
saying is, how many movies has he been in?
He has 214 credits.
Okay, well, that's fine, but what are they?
All right, hold on.
I mean, are they real credits, or is he, voice of Panda number 5?
Well, listen. Right before he did True Lies. Oh no,
Yeah.
Did they do a series of True Lies?
I think they did.
I mean,
yeah,
he's one of these
I think
actors.
they did.
He will show up in fucking everything too. So like,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
hold on. I mean, he's got a big list here. The guy's been in fucking everything. Oh, he was in Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare.
Well, maybe that was it. I barely remember that movie.
He was the childless man. Yes, Roseanne. He was in 20 episodes of Roseanne.
Oh, he was in Ninja Kill Face. What a classic.
There you go. He was in
You know what I'm
Coneheads
noticing about
as
a lot
the
of the,
uncredited. Yeah.
About a lot of these movies? You're looking at the ratings on a lot of these movies?
Well, that's what I
I've seen
mean.
a lot of sub 4s.
That's what I mean. Is that like he was kind of doing nothing, and then all of a sudden he was in fucking True Lies.
That's since True Lies, not before.
Oh,
since.
yes. Well, so I mean, like he was big, and then he popped up. I mean, there was a short period there where he popped up in a bunch of movies, right? Like, theatrical releases, and then all of a sudden he went back to being fucking kind of nobody again, like just doing very B-level stuff.
I'm looking, so I see. Okay, but Coneheads, if you're uncredited, you can't really give that. That's nothing. That doesn't count. Has to be something where you have a name and lines. So, really, besides True Lies, the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movies, TV series, I don't even know any of this stuff.
He did 9 months with what's his name?
Uncredited in Austin Powers International Man of Mystery. Boy, there's something you want to be remembered for.
He did Big Bully, which I think was his. I saw trailers for that, and it was a bust. He did that with Rick Moranis.
Yeah,
and maybe that's what it is. Is that he did those movies, and then they tried to put him on his own, and it was like, nope.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is I don't know if he was ever big, or if he happened to be in True Lies in a prominent role.
Yeah,
and then that's kind of it, or that he's at a certain level and can't go above it. And that's fine.
Oh my God. What is Desert Fiends? Jesus. Oh my God. Eric Roberts is in this. All right. This conversation just went a different direction. 6 friends on their way to a concert break down in the middle of nowhere and encounter a deranged family that lives in the desert, killing anyone they come across. This is one of those movies.
So they ripped off The Hills Have Eyes.
But listen, Eric Roberts is in it. Was it Bai Ling? Bai Ling is in it. Michael Paré in it. Tom Arnold's in it. Like it's kind of a weird cast. Jeez.
Eric Roberts does not exactly scream.
No, that's what I mean. But it's
me.
Eric Roberts, Michael Paré, and Bai Ling. Like it's those 3, and then Tom Arnold on top of that. That's weird. I mean, listen. I'm not saying this is a good movie. I'm just saying that. Jesus, look at these guys. That guy his face looks like an asshole. Okay. Yeah, this is a gore fest.
Actually, you make a good point. So Bai Ling is a perfect example. They made such a big deal about Bai Ling's character in Attack of the Clones, wasn't it? Where she was the assassin? Wasn't that the one with the assassin who was trying to... Hold on.
Oh, the shapeshifter?
Was that what she was? I barely even remember.
Hold on,
was it? Well, let me make sure I'm talking about the right person.
I didn't even realize she was in fucking Star Wars.
Hold on. I want to make sure I've got the right actress. Wait, why is this? Oh, yeah, this Attack of the Clones.
She was in Samurai Cop 2, Deadly Vengeance.
Oof. Maybe it isn't her. Wait, which movie has the assassin at the cafe or whatever? Is that the 3rd movie? Oh, my God.
That's the Revenge of the Sith.
Hold on. Oh, it is. Okay, so I was mixing up my movies.
No, she was. No, that's an uncredited role as Senator Bana.
No, that's not it. Hold on, let me look.
It's the second one.
When did those movies even come out? Oh yeah, yeah, Senator whatever. Okay.
Man, she's done a lot of shit. She was in Wild Wild West.
No, it's the wrong actress. I was thinking of somebody else. Okay, so whoever the assassin actress was in the second movie.
Yeah.
That actress, they made a who? Okay, so who was it? Let me see. Attack. This is how little I remember about these movies. Assassin. I'm sure they'll come up though because they made such a big fucking deal. Here it is. Zam Wessel was the character's name. Who played the character? Oh, come on. Who played the goddamn character? Remember Zam Wessel, the worst assassin ever. Oh, boy. Okay, who played her though? Or it was a woman. I remember it was a woman. Was the second movie. Okay, so now that I have a name, I can find it. And I remember in the run up to that movie, they kept talking about this actor and this character. They were trying to make this a thing. Okay,
it
like was
a Boba Fett, like a Boba Fett type character.
Yeah. So it was Leanna Walsman. That was the shapeshifter. Okay, but they were talking about this role.
Yeah.
Like it was going to make this actress's career. This was going to be a star-making role, and it went nowhere. And that's what I mean by Tom Arnold may have gotten a good agent who got him into True Lies and said, this is what's going to launch you, Tom. This comedic role, this is going to be the showstopper, the show stealer. You're going to steal the scenes from Arnold because, I mean, he can barely speak English, right, Tom? You can speak. So you can definitely run circles around him. And Tom may have bought into that. And he was, I mean, for a while he was Roseanne's husband, and that's what people knew him as. He was probably trying to climb out of that. So I don't know that he was ever big. So he got one plum role. Great, but
maybe
after that, I can't even remember anything that he was in.
Well, this Sam Wessel actress is apparently very big in Australia.
He's like, who is Harrison Ford's co-star in Hollywood Homicide? That's the other kind of joke.
Josh Hartnett.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Josh Hartnett. He's the next thing.
I know, but you know what's weird about Josh Hartnett?
I have to get a cricket sound effect. Thank you.
He then went on to do a lot of weird roles. I'll give him that. I mean, he did Penny Dreadful.
Yeah, but I mean, he was another one of these, he's going to be big. No. Incorrect.
They want everyone to be some kind of
Okay, here we go. I got a cricket sound effect. Let me grab that for the soundboard real quick. Hey, you never know. There's sounds that are good to have. So these are important things. I would say that's a sound effect. So I'll put that in my SFX folder, shall I? Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Josh Hartnett, for reminding me I needed a crickets sound effect.
Hey,
I do appreciate
Josh Hartnett
that.
was good in Penny Dreadful.
I'm not saying he wasn't. I'm saying that at one time he was the next big thing.
Yeah,
and
he was supposed to be the next big heartthrob.
Is all I'm saying.
But I mean, it's
that's
not like
what I mean about I'm not saying he's a bad actor. I'm not saying he hasn't been in good stuff.
Is that these actors do go on to do roles? It's just a matter of what roles you take. And I give Josh Hartnett credit when you look at his list of movies, right? No, he wasn't the next big thing, but he's also didn't just do tons and tons of shit.
No. My larger point is if I was an actor and I had any self-awareness, which those are kind of
listen. I think Pearl Harbor was like his big height. That's when they were like, he's going to be a heartthrob. And then if you look
what I'm saying is, I would tell anybody associated with my agent, marketing, whatever, do not at any point say I'm the next big thing. Do not hype me up. Just get me the roles.
Would you say,
and if it comes, it comes.
Would you say that Hollywood Homicide was his peak?
Hold on, I have to look at his career.
I'm just looking because he popped up. I mean, I think what it is that he started just popping up in weird movies. I mean, he was in Sin City, he was in Lucky Number 11, The Black Dahlia, 30 Days of Night. I mean, he just started doing weird movies that weren't.
What was his big movie?
Dude, that just scared the fuck out of me. I'm on IMDb and they auto started one of their stupid ads in the corner. And it was that goddamn America truck commercial where it was like, Americans, we can't stop being so goddamn fucking American.
That's a great one. No, Black Hawk Down. That was his big movie. That was
his
it.
Big movie. All right.
I remember that one because they made a big deal about it. I knew it was something else. I knew it wasn't Pearl Harbor, but I knew it was a war movie.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is after that, he didn't just do shit. I mean, he was selective.
I'm not saying he is.
Movies. No, I know, but what I was saying is unlike other people who will just take any role, like Eric Roberts will take any role, right?
Yeah.
Josh Hartnett was like, nah, you know what? I'm going to take what I want. And so he did a lot of specific, maybe not great, but he did a lot of specific movies. He did 27 episodes of Penny Dreadful.
I just saw a movie called The Demonatrix. A dominatrix summons a demon in an indie horror film with Doug Bradley. Okay, I have to admit I'm interested. Sorry. I mean, that does sound interesting, is a dominatrix versus a demon.
I don't know. Demon wins,
Potentially.
right?
It's got a bad artwork, though. This person's never seen a woman's ass. Oh, my God. Whoa. This is... I'm not going to name who the artist is, but I'm going to send this in the chat.
That's an amazing insult. this artist has never seen a
look what I'm
ass.
sending you. Either this is a woman with a leg problem, right? I mean, that doesn't look right, does it?
It's a weird perspective, yeah.
Yeah, but those ass cheeks don't look right.
I can't see any.
Those lines at the top should not be like that.
No, they shouldn't be going down. They should be going kind of
That looks like
curved,
she's facing forward. So it looks like her arms have been and her feet have been twisted backwards. Plus, she has no knees in that scenario, but it's not.
No, you know what? If you told me that it was forward, yeah, I mean, it would also look weird.
You would buy
be
it.
Less
yeah.
weird, yeah.
Yeah, less weird than that. But I also am detecting some problems with the demon, so I'm going to leave it alone. I'm just going to leave it alone. So not every artist is suited for the art they do. I'll say it like that.
You know what? It communicates the jankiness of the movie, right?
Well, I hope it's not as janky as that. I hope it's at least amusing. I will wait and see if it reviews fairly well.
Where did you find this, by the way?
Bloody Disgusting. I have a series of websites I peruse in the opening half of the show to look for things that might jump out.
Let's give it a quick trailer.
Oh, I didn't even watch the trailer. Oh, let's see. Oh, yeah, there is a trailer. Let's see here. Keep this low. Oh, geez, I thought that was Rose McGowan for a minute. Wow.
It does, doesn't it?
It does, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, is it a comedy?
I hope so.
Oh, I like her office cleaner. That's great. Oh, wow.
Oh, she's also psychic.
See, we have our discount Necronomicon. Got it. Oh, it's a seance where she accidentally summons a demon?
Yeah.
Hey, that's good demon makeup. Whoa, what's with the priest's hair? Wow. That's a hairdo and a half. I envy having that much hair.
Oh, yeah, the priest.
Jeez, yeah. Wow, I cannot. Oh, they're using the Hellraiser chimes when Doug Bradley's talking. That's amazing.
So you know what? This is one of those movies. I just finished the trailer.
I'm watching it. Okay, I just finished it. Yeah.
It looks. The worry is that they've made it look good, and it's actually a bit like stale. But the special effects look good.
They look really good. Well, the best what it really looks like it has potential for is to be sort of a Craft type of movie. The Craft is an interesting movie. I like it. Its tone is a little off, but it works.
It looks
because it sort of feels like it's trying to do a Mean Girls thing, but then it veers into actual horror and psychological stuff.
A horror comedy.
Yeah. So, yeah, okay. I mean, it doesn't look awful, which is a good sign. Because I've seen awful.
That guy who plays the priest, he has his own channel, The Lair of Voltaire.
Oh, good.
And that is his hair, man. That is just his hair all the time.
Oh, okay. Look.
Wow, look at that.
If I had hair like that, I would have my hair like that all the time.
Oh, he's got music. That's why. There you go.
Well, there you go. He's a performance individual. So you have to have a look if you're a musician.
I'm going to close that now because I'm getting distracted by the weirdness.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there you go. You
saw, by the way, there's a new Stargate coming. Did you see that?
No.
Amazon is reviving Stargate.
With who?
Of all the incredible things I thought I would not read of, a revival of the Stargate series.
Oh, the series. Okay, no, that's different. The series, yes. I have no problem with them redoing the series. As long as they just stay away from it. And
they're bringing back the guy who did the, worked on the original stuff. Not the director, the showrunner from the series.
Oh, cool.
I mean, which is, I just never thought they would bring Stargate back. I'd watch it. I like Stargate.
Is Ben Browder getting back in the saddle?
Ooh, could you imagine?
Because, I mean, he still looks good.
Yeah, he could be. He could be running the project now. He could be a little older.
Remember when the show ended, it was Ben Browder and Claudia Black. It was basically it was like half Farscape, half Stargate crew.
I'm gonna say that the guy who was the showrunner said his quote was, "For those who have been faithful throughout all the years. This one's for you. That might mean we're seeing people come back.
Is it a series or a movie?
No, it's a series.
Ah, good for
Greenlit
them.
a new series, as it says through Amazon MGM Studios.
You know, they've got the money. They need to make up for making that stupid Lord of the Rings series. Good for them.
I guarantee they didn't pay Lord of the Rings money for the Stargate license.
We
Probably had it.
We were trying to figure out what show to watch the other night, and we watched the first season because my son wanted to, and we were trying to figure out something. My wife goes out of nowhere, she's like, "Is there a second Lord of the Rings series?" And I was like, "You shut your mouth." And my daughter was like,
"Oh, you mean set of movies?"
My daughter goes, "Is that anything like that bad series we watched with young Gandalf?" And I was like, "No, that is the bad series we watched with young Gandalf." So yeah, no. Oh, so it's like a series of short films, or is like long episodes type thing?
Oh, the Stargate thing?
Yeah.
They describe it as TV series. So, I mean, obviously it's not TV, it'd be streaming. So it sounds like it's going to be, I would imagine it won't be 24 episodes in the season. It's probably going to be shorter. But
yeah.
Here's a question.
Yes.
Would you, what do you think? Well, actually, I already know the answer. I was going to say, what do you think is worse, the Hobbit movies or the Lord of the Rings series? Because.
Oh, okay. No.
Yeah.
The series is way worse.
As simple as a question. The series is worse.
The series is way worse because the thing is,
okay.
The Hobbit movies are bloated. It should have been one movie, and they basically shoved all this extra shit in it, right? But the thing is that Martin Freeman is still good, I think, as Bilbo, and the core. If somebody took the Hobbit movie and edited it down to like 1 2-hour film. Yeah. I think it would be really good. I think it's the desire to have, another trilogy. Because if you think about it, they took the original Lord of the Rings series and they made 3 movies, and then they made 3 extended edition movies. And you're kind of sitting there going, well, there's still so much content in these books that you could have made an extended edition. You just didn't film it, right?
Right.
But with The Hobbit, you had one short little book, and it was like, okay. Now you want to make 3 movies. I was like, but you've only got one small. So they started pulling on shit from all over the place to just bloat the hell out of it, and it makes it so that it's not.
Wow, you're bored talking about it. That's something.
Yeah, I know, it made me yawn.
Man,
that's
exceptional.
Like when I watched it, I mean, like bringing Legolas into it, that feels weird. Like I said, if they edited it down to like a 1 movie, I think it would have been good. But I would still rather watch that than Rings of Power. Because Rings of Power, you know what? The Hobbit movies did not make me dislike Galadriel. In fact, I thought that Galadriel was quite good in the Hobbit movies. Or I think she's just in one of them.
Sure.
The series made me dislike Galadriel. It made me bored and irritated with the elves. It made me not want to spend time in Middle Earth. And honestly, like, I'm not one of these fantasy people. I never thought that the Lord of the Rings books were fantastic. I was a Dragonlance guy. That's my fantasy world.
Yeah, me either.
But I acknowledge that it's very well done. And there's a lot of story to it. So it's that to have all that money and to have all that playground to wander. And to kind of fuck it up that badly, it's a crime. So, I'm not, if you're desperate for fantasy, then I say watch it if you're desperate. But I mean, you're not going to enjoy it. It doesn't go anywhere. It's so slow. And apparently in the second season, they tried to course correct by making it go like sonically fast. And and like I said, Galadriel is such a disservice to the character. And I think that's the thing, is The Hobbit is not a disservice to the characters. It's just bloated. It's very bloated, and they didn't need so much there. Whereas, like, Rings of Power is a disservice to the characters. Nobody comes off good. I don't like Gandalf, or the proto Gandalf, or whatever the fuck he is. And the fact that they were like, he's not Gandalf, he's not Gandalf, he's not legally Gandalf until we pay for the rights to the. It's like playing a game and getting like access to a like a character skin that legally the game's not allowed to put out yet, but you got it early. So you can't legally call it, like we can't legally call this Spider-Man, but like it's in a red and blue costume with spider webs on it and shoots things at it, and it's like it's everything but the name of the character until legally they get the rights, and then they're like, oh no, it was Spider-Man all along. It's that kind of thing where it's like it's Gandalf. You just didn't want to get sued.
Yeah. Until you secured the rights that you could do it.
Yeah, so like Hobbit is not an insult, it's just bloated. Rings of Power is an insult. To have that much money and to just not... Sure. I mean, we talk about all the time about movie budgets and how they... And this is actually a good sequitur for one of the things I want to talk about. Because we're going to talk about a movie, and I don't want it to be a review. We're not going to put this with our actual review section.
No.
It's a discussion about the budget of movies and then how that budget gets applied. So like Rings of Power had so much money. And it's not that it doesn't look pretty, but they wanted every other scene, they wanted it to be some kind of epic slow motion. I mean, I swear to God, it's like Zack Snyder directed it half the time, right? Although I actually would think that a Zack Snyder Lord of the Rings movie might be funny. But it's like they wanted all these epic scenes. There was like this forced epicness, and yet the story kind of went nowhere. And you're just saying, how much did you spend on this? And like, the elves look okay. The world looks very fake. I mean, the other thing is they wanted to computer generate everything. So like, you don't get the lived in feel of what Peter Jackson was doing. Because Peter Jackson did a lot of CG stuff, but he did a lot of practical work. I mean, like a lot of the size tricks were forced perspective, midgets and masks, all this shit, right? So Peter Jackson tried to kind of balance the old school movie trickery with the CG so that you had a little bit of both, right? Whereas with Rings of Power, it was all just CG trickery. Like it didn't feel corporeal at all. Everything felt, when you watch, and maybe this is the reason why, the prequels were an issue, is that, in the prequels, you got this sense that anything past like 5 or 10 feet was just totally CG, right? Mandalorian has this problem too, where like, if the Mandalorian is not actively touching something, I wonder if it's there, because they did like kind of this whole new weird CG effect to make that that show that was, from what I understand, made it a lot cheaper than it could have been, right? Which is that like 360 weird like VR chamber thing. But the thing is that Mandalorian, I thought, looked pretty good. They knew the places they could go. They knew the kind of setups they could do. It looks okay. It looks. Would you say the Mandalorian looks better than the prequels?
Oh, unquestionably.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
not
there's this whole
close.
thing with how the budget gets expressed, and the thing is that when I watch Rings of Power, which is one of the most expensive series that's ever been made, to my knowledge, at that point anyway.
Well, and by the way, we should point out that there is an important difference between the prequels and Mandalorian.
Oh, years.
The prequels were generally made with green screen. If you watch behind the scenes, you'll see an actor or two in a giant green field of nothingness, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Mandalorian uses something called volume. Have you ever seen any of the behind the scenes on how they make it?
Yeah, it's that weird chamber that they go into.
Yeah, but you can see where you're supposed to be. So you feel like you're actually in the space far more than green.
Yeah.
And so that is part of the reason is as you're walking, the screen is reacting. In a green screen, you are providing everything.
When
hopefully.
Ian McKellen did the Lord of the Rings movies, there was a lot of trickery. So he was there on set with people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Whereas when he did The Hobbit, that
he was crying in a corner.
That was the movie that broke him because he was in a room.
That's what I'm saying.
With nothing,
he was crying in a corner. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
So there's this whole thing with like how the budget gets expressed. So like with Rings of Power, I think that money was wasted. I think that maybe they should have they should have maybe taken some of that budget and hired better writers. Because I mean, really,
Oh
the
yeah.
problem with that show is story and pacing. I mean, it's not like the actors were necessarily bad. It's just a bad story, badly paced. You know, I wanted this to be the badass movie about Galadriel becoming this noble character she is, and instead, I really disliked her. But in the like, so Joe and I recently watched this movie. There isn't going to be a review of it. There isn't going to be a commentary for it because it was so bad that Joe decided that we're not going to bother because it was that level of bad.
Yep. I'm just gonna. This is all I'm gonna say about it. I have nothing else to say. I watched it. It's awful. Go for it.
Okay, so this movie is what is it called? After Last Season, right? This is a well-known bad movie, right? And we it came up on our random, kind of system of watching movies. We watched it, and it is bad. It's not fun bad. It's not good bad. It's just fucking bad. It was so bad that my wife heard me in the other room grumbling about how bad it was in a sad tone of voice. Do you know how bad a movie has to be that's all Joe's going to say about it? Uh, but the thing was, we found out the movie supposedly cost $5 million. And you sit there and you go, okay, there isn't $5 million on the screen here. And then we went and we looked up this whole list of other movies that cost $5 million. And this is a really great example of how money gets expressed through skill and artistry. Because the movie Moon with Sam Rockwell apparently cost $5 million. And that's a movie that takes place on the fucking moon. I mean, I know that there's almost nobody in it, and the one robot was really simple and just a series of smiley faces, but that's a really good movie. Duncan Jones took that money and made a really fantastic movie. Requiem for a Dream, $5 million. That movie will haunt me. There are lines from that movie that I'll never scrub out of my head. And again, really great director, $5 million. What was the other one? There was another one on the list that we were like, really, 5 million? Hold on.
Wasn't Escape from New York $5 million?
I know, but in that time, that was a lot of money.
Well, no. I mean, it really wasn't. That hasn't been a lot of money for a while for a science fiction film.
True. Let's see.
But I will say this.
Yeah.
I watched accidentally. I really did not realize this was going to be this.
Yeah.
But I have a movie review of a movie I watched to get rid of the feeling of that movie in my head, which turned out to be an excellent small film. And guess what the budget is? Now,
5 million?
This is a bit of an asterisk. 5 million euros. So it's technically more than 5 million, but still
here,
5 million as soon as I look up the budget right there.
Here's a list, right? So Requiem for a Dream, 5 million. Train Spotting, 5 million. Memento, which I know there's not a lot going on, but that's still an astoundingly good movie. $5 million. Moon, Old Boy, the original. Donnie Darko, which is like a classic fucking weird ass movie. Snatch. Now I don't know about this one. I got to look this up because Brad Pitt is in this, and I wonder if he took some kind of massive pay cut to be in this. But like The Machinist with Christian Bale. I mean, that's a movie that'll fucking haunt you. Shaun of the Dead, and then Lost in Translation. Lost in Translation is a beautiful movie. I love that movie. These are all incredible works of art made with 5 million. And this movie, After Last Season, it's one of the first times I've watched a movie and thought to myself, this is an insurance scam. This is the producers, in that play, it was a musical, but it's a movie as well. The producer, where basically they want to make a flop so that they'll make more money off of it being a flop than it being a hit, which is why they make the play. Was it Springtime for Hitler? Except in the producers, it ends up being a hit, and then they're like, shit, what do we do now? I get the feeling when I was watching this movie that it was some kind of like they wanted it to be a flop because I think the line that I read was that the movie cost like $40,000 to make, and then it was like $5. The rest of the budget went to the incredibly expensive special effects, which are like high school laughable. And you sit there and go, "No, man, I think that you were laundering money with this movie." Like and the thing is, I give Joe a lot of credit. Joe doesn't like to talk shit if he doesn't have anything good to say about a movie. He doesn't want to go on about it. But I do believe that when you review things, you should warn people, this is shit, don't fucking bother. Which is what we've done. But in the realm of
My silence should be the warning.
yeah, I know.
The,
But within
the battered wife of film has nothing to say. Internalize that for a minute.
yeah, I know. But budget wise, it's amazing that that movie cost $5 million, and it was and it's not even like it's like a train wreck. It's like a banal waste of your time. I mean, I said it in the commentary, which no one will ever hear, so I'm going to say it now. Joe found a worse movie than Drawing Restraint Number 9 or Danzig's Veronica, right? Both of those movies have been liberated from the bottom spot. After Last Season is now the worst movie that we've ever seen. Because at least Drawing Restraint Number 9, I wasn't completely bored. I was fucking confused. And at least the costumes, like there was attention to detail. It was polished. It was just bad. And at least the first third of Veronica was comedy and nudity, even if the other two thirds of the movie were like kind of a boring nudity. Both of those are still miles better than After Last Season. So you have to give Joe credit for the fact that he actually found something that was worse than anything we'd seen before. So bad that we aren't even going to properly review it. But the idea that $5 million was spent on that movie and $5 million made all these other movies, it really says a lot about, one, if you're just money laundering, or it's an insurance scheme or something. Otherwise, what good money in the hands of good artists can create. So when we're talking about Rings of Power and the amount of money they spent on those movies, you sit there and you go, okay, you had a lot of money, and I know that visually that was where you were like so focused on, but the joke of it is that part of what made Lord of the Rings work is that it was based on really great writing. Really great writing. And you guys just were like, you know what? We don't need that. We just need the world and the characters to look right, and we're just gonna throw something together. And you're like, no, like, I don't know. Maybe you're right. I complain about writing in movies all the time, but Rings of Power is a great example of it because everything else was there on the screen. Even the woman that plays Galadriel, I don't dislike her. I think she could have been a great Galadriel. But it was just written so poorly so that despite all that money and making it look all shiny, it just has this kind of shiny emptiness to it that the story can't save. The Hobbit has more heart than Rings of Power. And these examples of $5 million movies, it's like, and these are $1 to $5 million. So some of these cost even less than that. But it's the whole, fucking Clerks. How much did Clerks cost? Was that 40 grand?
I want to say it's a little more than that. I want to say it was maybe 100 grand or something.
Yeah,
I don't remember, but it wasn't. I don't think it was $1 million even.
No, it was not, because you put it all on credit cards. Oh, fuck you, 27,000.
There you go.
Wow, it cost $27,000 to make, and they grossed over $3 million. That's the right side of that math. But that's what I mean. Like, say what you will about Kevin Smith. He makes movies and he utilizes that budget, and I find most, not all, but most of Kevin Smith's movies enjoyable. I never thought that. Clerks 2, I think for me is his greatest hat trick because it's like, there's no way I thought a sequel to that would work. And I'm never watching the third one because I don't like where he went with it. But, Jesus, this movie cost $27,000. And it made, it made so much more time than what he paid for it. This is the movie that launched his career. So it's that whole thing, is it money in the right hands. Money with the right people, with the right artists. And I think sometimes they misplace the money where it's like Rings of Power. I hate to keep coming down on Rings of Power, but they're a great example of like done badly. They put all the money in the fucking special effects. They put the money into having decent actors. They put the money into having everything is. It's sad because everything is good. It's just so damn empty. Maybe they should have gone lighter on the CG and maybe gotten outside more. Maybe they and then hired writers. So, yeah. So the moral of the story is that some people don't know how to use money when it comes to movies. After Last Season is a movie that did not know how to use, if they in fact had $5 million, did not know how to use it. Rings of Power had, oh my god, was it how much was that show per episode? Wasn't it $11 million per episode?
My gut thought was 10, so it could be either.
I vaguely remember it being, no, holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay, we are so wrong. $58 million an episode. Holy go fuck yourself. $58
Didn't they
million.
pay $1 billion for the rights or something? So
Yes,
I'm not
they
surprised.
did. Yeah, the show's overall budget is even higher, potentially exceeding $1 billion, as it includes significant costs for the rights to the source material. $58 million per episode, and it's
Sure.
it's God, it's so bad. Holy shit, man! God, that's like it's so laughably bad. I thought it was. I mean, you were like 10, and I said 11. 58. Yeah, so maybe in that respect, Rings of Power is not that far off from After Last Season. No, I won't say that. After Last Season is an utter piece of shit. Even I could even go through Rings of Power and point out that there are good things. Like I said, the actors were good. The special effects were good. They overwhelmingly went with those effects. It's one of those things. If Rings of Power had a good script, it could have been epic. But didn't. And I'm trying to think of a movie that's got a light budget but had really good writing. I mean, well, we had that list of $5 million movies, and it's like, these they were good scripts. Requiem for a Dream is a good script. Trainspotting is a good script. Memento is a good script. Moon's a great script. It's like
Dogma's budget was $10 million.
Oh, and Dogma's awesome.
And that's a stacked cast and an excellently written film.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
I love that movie.
Which is why it made 45.
Yeah, there you go.
So mild success. But let's remember, you had Affleck, Damon, Salma Hayek, Alan Rickman, just those four on 10 million.
Yeah.
Just keep that in mind. That's not even putting in Chris Rock, the regular cast that pops up, Linda Fiorentino. So, yeah, 10 million. They had, try to imagine the caliber of those four actors today for 10 million. No.
Yeah,
obviously you're not getting Alan Rickman for anything today, but still.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
I love the way you put that. I don't think we can get hold of him. You got to give credit to Kevin Smith's producer. Isn't that Mosley? Is it Mosley the producer?
Mosier. Scott Mosier.
Mosier, yeah. You got to give credit to this guy because, I mean, they managed that money.
No, look, there was a string of movies that Kevin Smith made that I think are, at the very least, if I don't necessarily rewatch all of them, I recognize a quality in them. And I think that they stopped after Dogma, really. I think that was the last one that I think was of that caliber. Well, hold on, let's see.
Clerks was great. Oh, was he a co-executive producer on Good Will Hunting? That's funny. I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, yeah, because him and Damon and Affleck are all tight. So yeah, I'm not surprised.
I need to see just his.
Where's his movies?
Yeah, I gotta check. All right, here we go. What his movies?
Filmography. Here it is.
Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Dogma. Those are all great.
Yep.
Those are great movies.
Correct. That's where it stops. Then it starts getting rocky.
And then here's the thing. And then he did a lot of movies that like Jane Silent Bob Strike Back, Jersey Girl. But then Clerks 2 is so good. Like, I really like Clerks 2. I like it as much as those other ones.
Well, okay. Here's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Those three specifically, Jay and Silent Bob, Jersey Girl, Clerks 2.
Yeah.
I don't think any of those are bad. What I'm saying is the first four are pretty bulletproof in terms of, I think that his writing overcomes his directorial problems for the first three.
Yes. Yes.
And then Dogma, I feel like somebody was giving him pointers because it's so much better in terms of filmmaking. Even though he's not really moving the camera much, it looks a lot better. So I feel like somebody was there. Maybe it was somebody with a big name who was just hanging out and was giving pointers or whatever.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it regresses back to Jay and Silent Bob has a couple of funny bits in a movie that is woefully underwritten. And a gag that wears out in about 22 minutes, which is Jay and Silent Bob as the main characters. It just was never a good idea. Jersey Girl, in the right hands, a different director, I think would be probably a much better remembered movie. It would be something that somebody else could have done more with.
I have no idea. But you know what's sad? I
And then Clerks 2, again, I feel like, I think if a better director was doing it, the material would have been better handled. And then after that, I don't care anymore.
I didn't hate Zack and Miri Make a Porno, but that was like a dumb, fun movie. Like, it wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
Cop Out was not good. Well, but you know what?
No.
Red State, this is when his career shifted, too, because then he started doing,
But again, even Cop Out.
Yeah, not good.
He didn't write it. He directed it. Now, look.
Yeah.
I'll admit, I've never made a movie, okay?
Yeah.
I freely admit this up front.
No, but you know what? I want to say this. Joe and I always say that we've never made a movie, but that movie, After Last Season, is the first time I've said, there is a recording of it, of me saying, and both of us agreeing, that we thought we could make a better movie.
Yeah. You, by the way, have the only copy left of anything we said about that movie, so you do with it what you want. But, so what I'm saying, though, is with Kevin Smith, Cop Out was his 8th film.
Yeah.
And it looks worse. I've watched clips of it just to see it. With the sound off because I don't care about the actual movie. And he still doesn't know how to move a camera. And I'm sitting there going, if you're 8 movies in and your strength is writing, then maybe you should. He's the Ridley Scott inverse. Ridley Scott, give him the camera. Give him the camera and good material, and you will have a classic.
Hold on. Let's see Kevin Smith writing. Okay, he wrote Clerks. Clerks good. Wrote Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Dogma, all good. He wrote the Clerks the TV series, which is a great animated fucking
good.
series.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wrote Jay and Silent Bob, not great.
Nope. Well, he wrote most of them, but there is something that happened around.
He wrote Jersey Girl too.
Yes, he did. Now the thing is that there's something that happened with Kevin Smith around the Cop Out period or so.
Is that
he
where
started saying that critics? No, that was later.
Yeah.
When he started saying that critics didn't understand his films and really what good are critics. He started to get up his own ass syndrome. And once that happened, it's hard for me to evaluate his writing, and I kind of checked out of him. Like, once you start saying, somebody who earlier in his career freely admitted that he was not a good director, suddenly comes around to the other side and says, no, actually, I'm very good. It's that nobody gets me. So you start saying shit like that, I'm done.
He wrote Masters of the Universe Revelation. Didn't you see that?
I did, and it was, it's Masters of the Universe. I don't expect much, so it was fine.
No, but it was,
It's He-Man, so yeah.
I mean, listen, when he wrote for Daredevil, that was really good.
But
the comic,
he wasn't making it up. He wasn't making it up.
No.
He was going off of, essentially, he was doing Dogma in tights. It was very Catholic.
It was very Catholic.
Right? I'm not saying that as a negative. I'm saying that's actually, he tapped into something that he had a real personal investment in and wrote well before. He took it and molded it into a great Daredevil story. Because he was writing from a position of strength, which was his wrestling with his faith, which we already know he can do. And that's what I'm saying is, I'm not saying Kevin Smith can't write. I think that, like a lot of people, once he started looking in the mirror and seeing himself as the beauty queen as opposed to understanding what his actual flaws were, that tends to make people change. So,
but to be clear, everything that Kevin Smith has made is still so head shoulders above After Last Season that,
Well, you correctly said it's the worst movie we've ever seen. So I don't know what else, there's nothing else to say after that.
I know. Okay. So did you watch some? What did you watch to get the taste of your mouth
I did.
Of bullshit out of your mouth?
I had messaged you to see if you wanted to watch something to purge the film. You were unavailable, and so
You know what?
I then looked through my list.
The thing was when you my office got remodeled slightly, and when you texted me, I was like in the middle of putting my whole computer audio setup back together. And I was kind of like, if I don't set this up tonight, it's not going to get set up in time for the show. And I was like, fuck it, I'll stay and do this. So yeah, I ended up getting the desk setup put back together so that I could crash and go do stuff I had to do and come back and record.
Well, we will eventually watch this movie because I think it is quite excellent.
What did you watch?
As I was watching it, I'm like, damn, it's a shame we didn't watch this together. I watched a movie from 2022 that had an interesting poster. I really didn't know anything about it, but I liked the poster, even though the poster is in some ways massively misleading to what I thought it was. And it's a movie called Vesper. It is a Lithuanian film, automatically a good sign. It's not American. So I was like, okay.
Oh,
and
interesting looking poster.
When you look at the poster, that looks like she's looking at a monster of some kind, right?
I thought it was a ship or something like that.
Okay, yeah, it's not. It's some kind of. I'm not even clear on what it was, but it's barely a thing in the movie. You see them here and there, but it really doesn't matter.
Sci-fi. It's like a sci-fi Baba Yaga house.
Something, but you never go inside one.
Eddie Marson's in it though. That's always fun.
So is Richard Brake, the what's his face, Dick Brake. Remember Dick Brake?
Hey, yeah, Dick Brake.
In an interesting role because he's basically not able to act. He has to use his eyes for everything because he's incapacitated the whole movie until he dies.
Oh, wow. Jesus.
So
okay.
It's a dystopian film, but one that is different than many others I've seen. So the basic setup is that to try to beat climate change, which I've heard is a myth, but I guess in this movie they take it seriously, humans decided to try to bioengineer their way out. I know, they're everywhere and they're wrong about everything. So the human race tried to bioengineer their way out of climate change. Somehow, they're not clear on what they did, which I think is smart. They don't get into the details of what happened. But the viruses and bacteria that they were trying to engineer got out. They escaped, and they basically terraformed the planet and wiped out large populations of people and animals. So what you have is a planet that is mostly ruled by now dominant flora and fauna. Plants that are not malevolent, but that are now the apex species. Where you could be walking along and if you brush up against a leaf, suddenly these insects come flying out to defend the plant and destroy it. They're not doing it on purpose. They're doing it because
they're animals. They're surviving. Right.
So a higher class of elites have sealed themselves up into citadels, which I immediately thought of like, the classic mega cities or Tifferes from Battle Angel Alita. They're in their enclaves. Yeah, and everybody outside is on their own. But what one of the citadels have done is at least one, because they talk about how it seems like some of the citadels, I wasn't clear on whether they were all united or not. It seemed like they weren't. But essentially in the area around one of them, they have coded seeds so that seeds can only be harvested once, so that you have to keep buying them. So they've gone full Monsanto with the seeds, where you buy it, it works once, then you have to buy it again. And I do like the fact that they don't ever tell you exactly what's going on with a lot of this, because we know from what we see of this one person, the local kind of Baron Lord of the area, he is selling the blood of children to the Citadel, but we have no idea why. We just know that they want young blood. We never find out for what. What it likely, in my view, is we also find out that the Citadels manufacture a slave race that are called Jugs, Jugs. And they are basically low intelligence human beings that are considered byproducts. If they fail something, you kill them. Done. They're throwaways. And so we find all this out from discussions that we see of the people outside. We never ever go inside a citadel. You never see the inside. You never even really see them all that clearly. You see them once. One of them. And it's from far away, so you don't even get a clear view.
It looks great.
Well, the interesting part is, from what I read...
Of good money applied, Jesus.
Yes. From what I read, the director said that anything outside, there's no green screens. It is all the natural areas in Lithuania, France, and Belgium.
Fucking hell. 5 million. Yeah, you're right. 5 million euros.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
So,
I mean, granted, it only made $1.5 million.
Yeah, which is a real shame. But I think it's because
it's kind of an art sci-fi movie. It's IFC films.
It's a movie that you might think is a real downer because it starts from a place of struggle and kind of, going uphill.
Yeah.
And in fact, I was worried it was going to be a real downer. I didn't read anything about it. I really knew nothing about it. I just went off the poster. I didn't even see the tagline about one seed can change everything. Even if I had, I didn't even know I would put together what it was. But anyway, we start off, and Vesper is actually the title character. It's a young woman who lives with her father. And again, there's this light stuff that we find out, but it's just enough that you're like, oh. We find out at one point that her father is an ex-Citadel soldier, and when he got injured, they essentially gave him something that keeps him alive and threw him out. That's how they treat their veterans. Familiar. And so he is bedridden. He can't even speak. He uses a little drone.
Her father is Dick Break.
Yeah, Dick Break is her father who has to do...
So he's talking to her through the drone head.
Yes, and I didn't even get that at first. It took me a while to figure that out, and then I realized, it's him in the drone.
That's awesome.
So all of his actual communication as an actor is through his eyes, which he does very well. I mean, he's using his eyes to express things.
But his voice also comes from the drone.
Yeah, but it's heavily modulated. You know, it's the acting is more of his physicality than it is the drone.
Yeah.
But that's the little drone that she's drawn a face on that follows her around. And so she is a very smart and ambitious young woman who is trying to figure out if there's a way around the coded seed problem. And her father keeps telling her, you're not going to be able to figure it out. They made this in a certain way, and you're not going to be able to... I know you're smart, and I know you hate our situation, but you're dreaming about something that is unrealistic. You need to focus on what is attainable. And of course, she disagrees, being a 14-year-old or 13-year-old, depending on what I've read. I don't think they ever actually say. But they're going along, and her father's brother is the Baron, who seems to... They talk about him having breeders because he says you could come here and stay here. And she's like, I'm not going to be one of your breeders. Which, that's all they say about it. You never see anything, but it's a specific word, and she clearly doesn't want to be there.
You get a sense, though, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a point, and there's also quite a bit of evidence that he is doing things to make you have to sell you his blood so that he'll repair things. So there's a point where the drone, he's got his arm in it, because everything... This is a movie that in some ways low-level repels me the whole way, because it's all organic and wet. It's all gooey plants, but that's what makes it unique. Is everything is like that.
There seems to be almost like what is it called? Like mushroom fungus that's like coming at them under the door.
It's all of it. Everything seems to be plant based. Even the computer she uses looks like a big desk mat. That you remember in Prometheus where David is pushing the buttons and there's squishy buttons on the engineer thing? It's like that. There's these bumps and she's kind of depressing them, and then it's almost like e-ink, like vegan e-ink is forming the images. There's no screens. There's no actual. There's almost no inorganic tech. Her father is hooked up to what looks like an artificially engineered bio-kidney that's filtering his blood. That's coming out of his head and parts of his body, but then it's connected to like a steam compressor of some kind. That's a metal thing. It's the only real metal thing that they've gotten in the wood of the house. But I'm not even sure that that's metal. It might be some kind of biomechanical whatever. But it's all these things he's connected to, but he can't move. He'll never be anything but somebody in a bed communicating through a drone. So right there, and she knows it. It's very sad because you just know that even if somehow they were to get out, he's not getting out. He can't move. He's done. And he's barely alive. And that was his reward for being a soldier, is they allowed him to live, just not inside a citadel because, can't have somebody looking like that inside the citadel where it's paradise. And so Vesper's out and about and she's doing something and she comes across a crashed like sky plane, which again, the inside is all organs and stuff. So it looks like it's a biomechanoid. The parts that have broken off look like they have organs inside of them. And she finds this young woman whose leg is broken, brings her back to the house. And the father immediately is like, what are you doing? You can't bring one of them back here. They're going to come after here and they might just burn the whole house down for you even touching her. But Vesper's like, no, whatever. I will heal her because she's figured out this. She has these bio bandages she's made. And she's the only one who seems to use them. And it seems like something she came up with, which they don't ever say it specifically, but that's what it appears to me.
Is she, I guess, overly clever? Is that what it is?
Yes. She's very smart.
Got it.
Yeah. That's the thing. The father is basically saying the problem with your intelligence is you think it can beat everything. You have the arrogance of youth. So yes, you're very smart, but you're fighting a monolith. You are fighting a machine whose size and power you cannot comprehend because you think you can overcome anything because you're a teenager. Which, yes, teenagers tend to think that they're smarter and more invincible than everybody else. We all were there. So it makes complete sense. She's written very well as a young woman. Like there was things she was saying and doing where I'm like, yep, I said a version of that. Not in this particular scenario, but I remember saying things like that. And, my parents telling me that I would understand how things were when I was older. I didn't want to hear that.
Is this a remake of something else?
Not that I know of.
Because I'm seeing another poster for another Vesper movie.
There's nothing that indicates that it was a remake. No, it was no. It was written by the director writers who are credited in the film, which is Christina Boisite. I'm probably mispronouncing that, and Bruno Samper. Says it was a 6-year collaboration between them. They've made movies before and written movies before, and this is something they wrote. It does feel like something out of 2000 AD. I'll say that. I could see the artwork for this in a 2000 AD story. So anyway, brings the woman back. The woman heals what seems like very quickly, which Vesper notices. She says, well, I know my things work well, but you seem to be healing faster than you should be. And the woman is kind of cagey about it, but seems to indicate that it's a byproduct of being a Citadel citizen. And she says, we have to go find my father. My father was in the craft with me. We need to go get him. And if you help me find him, I can get you into the Citadel. And so Vesper immediately is like, oh, okay. And the father's like, wait,
nope,
nothing is that simple.
Yeah.
No, either there is a price that has to be paid that you're not aware of, or she's lying. But either way, this is not something where you can just get in. This is, again, to go back to the Tifferes analogy where Hugo thought he was going to be able to buy his way in, only to find out that, nope, it doesn't work that way. You can get in, but they're going to cut you to pieces and your organs go in because that's what they want from down here. Just the viable young people's organs. So again, I do feel like there might have been some influence from that where I'm like, yeah, I see some kind of parallels here. But Vesper again is blinded by her just desire to get out of this world she's stuck in and go to this place that she idolizes, having no idea of what it actually is like. And again, as a Tifferes analogy, from what this young woman, Camilla, says, it is not the way everybody thinks it is. She at one point describes it as an Eden with no feeling. She's like, it's like an icy lake. It looks nice from the outside and there's nothing underneath, or something like that, where she's like, everybody is just bored and empty because there is no struggle there. It's all just isolated and engineered to be this perfection that is cold and clinical and soulless. But we won't find that out for a while. Because, so Camilla's like, oh, we have to go find her. So Vesper's looking around and comes across the craft. And the craft, the old man is in there, but he's cut up and he's injured. And then Darius, who is the brother, the Baron, shows up at the same time, of course, and says, oh. And the old man says, call Citadel and you'll be rewarded. And he's like, oh, you're from the Citadel. Well, here, I want you to have a taste of what it is to suffer. And he smothers him with his hand and kills him, which, of course, Vesper reacts very badly to. And he's like, why do you care? And then he sees that there's a scarf in it and he smells it. And he says there was a second passenger. And he says, have you seen her? And, of course, Vesper says no. Darius, though, of course, is not sure that he believes that. And he tells all these people, go find this woman. Yes, suspicious. And scumbag. So they're looking around, but, they think that she's on the run somewhere. They don't realize that Vesper has brought the woman back to her house. And when she goes back, she hides the fact that the old man is dead. She just says that she couldn't find her. So when, so she's like, well, you're not healed enough. So once you've healed, then we can go looking. And then her father says, no, what we should do is we should just call Citadel. Let's just call Citadel and have them come get you, because he just wants them gone. He just wants the woman gone because he knows this is not good. No matter what, it's not good. Vesper does indicate to him that the old man is dead, and of course the drone was there, so he saw it. So he knows some of what happened, but the drone also gets damaged at some point, so he doesn't know everything. So he says the only place that has a he says to Vesper, he's like, well, the only transmitter is inside of Darius's compound, but you can't tell him why we're calling them. You do that and he'll come here and he'll take her. So if you actually want this woman to survive and get out, you have to sneak in and find the transmitter and use it. And so the drone and her go to sneak in. The drone goes to look around the corner and doesn't come back for a little bit. So Vesper goes around and Darius is there and he's got his arm inside the drone. And he says, the drone was having a problem, so I'm fixing it. Oh, no. Although that means you're going to have to give me some blood because he likes to say, we don't do charity here. So again, was the drone broken or did he grab it and do something to it? You don't know, but I would suspect he grabbed it and did something to it. And so she says, okay, that's fine. Fix it. And then she tries to grab it and run. And so he sixes people on her because she tried to basically steal from him. And so when she's running, they grab her and they brand her, which means now he belongs to her. He's one of her the breeders. And so now Vesper's like, well, shit. Okay. I basically have to come clean with this woman and, tell her that the old man is dead and that, we can bring her back. And she tells her and the Camilla breaks down. At which point you realize when you see a scar on the back of her neck that she is in fact a jug. That she has been an engineered jug that the old man created and made into basically like a daughter for himself. So he treated her very well. She's intelligent. She has her own will.
But she's not a citizen.
No, in fact, it's illegal and they will kill him for it. That's why they were running from one citadel to go to another one. And what they were going to trade, and this is why I don't think all the citadels are united in what they do, is she has the key to unlock the seeds. And so she wants to trade it to the citadel. So I imagine that the way these citadels work, based on how it is each of them has something the other one needs, and they kind of trade with each other.
They're almost like mega cities.
Either that or like the Bullet Farm and Gas Town, like the Mad Max thing, where each of them has their dominion over something the other ones need, and they trade that way. And so she also seems to have, along with her healing ability, she has some kind of bioengineered properties. Like at one point, the father's having a seizure and she kisses him and puts him to sleep so that he will calm down. Because Vesper's trying to hold him so he won't, because he's having the seizure. And Camilla bends over, kisses him, and then he goes to sleep. And she's like, I put him to sleep. He'll be fine. And she was telling the truth. She did. She just knocked him out. So something in what she did knocked him out. And so there are some properties to her that are unique. And so basically Vesper's like, well, I want to understand what he did because I understand DNA. Let me take a sample of your blood. And she's looking at it and it looks odd. There's something wrong with it. Or not wrong with it, but off. And she can't figure out what it is. And what she realizes is the code to the seeds is in her DNA. So she's like, well, then I can extract the code. I can unlock the DNA for everybody and we can actually have food again and not have to be beholden to the Citadel. And she starts to figure out how to do it, at which point Darius shows up and has figured out that she's there. And Darius comes in and he's basically getting ready to take her, and Vesper and Camilla are trying to fight him off. And he manages to repel the two of them. And then he goes up to the father and gets ready to rip the cables out of his head. And Camilla says, no, I'll go with you. You can take me with you. And when they start to leave, Vesper comes out of nowhere and basically hits him in the head. Camilla grabs a knife and stabs his hand into the table to hold him. And Vesper puts a knife to his throat. And he goes, so this is how it's going to end. And Vesper says, no, I want to make a deal. She says, you leave us alone and you let us act independently, and I will give you the keys to make the seeds viable so you never have to buy from Citadel again. And then she puts one of her healing bandages on his hand where he got the knife wound. Mm-hmm. And he leaves, and tears the bandage off. And as soon as he tears the bandage off, you know exactly what that's signaling. So he goes back, calls Citadel, and says, yeah, I know where the woman is that you want. So he calls in the Citadel soldiers. They show up, blow his head off, and wipe out most of his compound, of course.
Yes, of course.
And then they go, well, of course. And the father knows this. The father's like, okay, you understand, they're not going to let this go. They're coming to get us. And so he's like, you have to leave. You have to get out. And she doesn't want to leave. And he tells Camilla, he's like, you have to take her and you have to go. I can delay them here. I used to work for them, so I can delay them enough that you can get out. And so Camilla and Vesper leave under the assumption they'll come back for the father. He says, you come back for me. I can delay them. I know how to talk to them. Of course, we know that's bullshit. But Vesper is young enough and naive enough to believe it. And so she leaves under the condition, I'm coming back for you. They leave. When the soldiers come in, they train their guns on him, at which point he pops his drone up. They spin, shoot that, and don't realize they're hitting an energy battery, which blows the whole house up. So he annihilates a bunch of the soldiers and kills himself.
Yeah.
Because he basically says, I'm not alive anyway. So I was living for you. You have somebody to get you out. Go. Get out. So they're on the run, but more soldiers are coming, and Camilla realizes they're not going to stop coming until they get her. And so she says, you have to keep going. You have to get out of here. Because if you don't, they're just going to keep coming after me.
Has the code now, though, right?
She has the code, and she's got the seeds that can be unlocked from the code, which I believe she does unlock before they leave. And there's another thing that we've seen, which is some people get a virus which turns them into what they call pilgrims. And these pilgrims, they go mute, and they collect junk, and they just build these big structures, and nobody knows why because they can't communicate. And Vesper's mother got infected and left. So she's always been looking for her and has never found her. Like, that's another thing, is she's always convinced she'll find her mother. And so she's like, well, we'll go find the pilgrims. My mother could be there, but I know that they won't harm us. We'll go find them. And so Camilla says, okay, good. Go and get them. And Vesper's like, no, you promised you would stay with me. I just lost my father. I'm not leaving. And Camilla's like, okay, you're right. I did promise you. And then she kisses her and knocks her out. And puts her down and then runs back to the soldiers and says, okay, I'm here. You've got me. And so they show up, and then, she turns herself over. We have no idea what happens to her, but you imagine she's dead. We never see the fate of her, but logically she's dead.
They just leave that be then. Huh, interesting.
Right. So she then gets up. Vesper wakes up, goes back, finds the house is burned. Camilla's gone. And keeps some of the altered seeds, puts them into the dirt, and grabs some. And then she starts to leave, and some of the kids that were in the brother's house show up, so that the soldiers spared the very young children, probably because at some point they thought they'd come back and sorry, I was mixing up the names. Darius is Vesper's father, and Jonas is the brother, so I was mixing the names up. But the leftover children show up, and Vesper takes them with him. And so they're wandering, and they come across they find one of those pilgrims. They follow the pilgrim back to this giant tower. Vesper climbs all the way up to the top, sees the citadels in the distance that she could probably go trade for, but instead she takes out the seeds that she's transformed and she throws them into the wind, and the movie ends. So, a very non-American ending, because we really don't know what happens after that. But you see the seeds are kind of, they open up and they start to float.
But she set them free into the environment. Yeah.
And then the movie ends. It ends as you see the seed, and then the credits come up, and that's it. It's a great movie. It was a beautifully done movie. It's got great music. I liked everybody in it. The effects are... I know they had made a practical drone for a number of shots. There's also a CG drone, and I'm sure there's, effect shots for a lot of the, kind of like the flower stuff that's going on, like the death flowers that are all these like, they almost look like, you remember in Guardians of the Galaxy, Michael Rooker's thing where he whistles and it whips around and kills people. Yeah. Imagine plants full of those. It's like that. So that stuff's obviously all digital, but it's largely practical. And again, real outside sets, filmed at night with a lot of nice fog. And it looks a lot like Stalker at times, the Tarkovsky movie, where I'm like, oh yeah, they took advantage of really beautiful natural landscapes that look alien if you shoot them at the right time, and then enhance them with a fog machine and stuff like that. Or just shooting early in the morning, whatever.
Yes.
And so it's really well done. I really liked it. It's on Shudder, so if you have a Shudder subscription, you can just watch it as part of that, or it's like $10 on Amazon, which I absolutely would have found worth paying for. So if you don't have a Shudder subscription, it's $10 to rent, and I think it's like $9.39 or so, some weird number, but I'll say $10. Absolutely worth it. Great movie with a minimal budget, but does a lot with it. So,
well, I mean, and that's the key thing, yeah.
Yeah, I would recommend it with no hesitation, because it's also a very different dystopia, because it is a what do you call it? A benign threat. None of the plants are actively trying to kill anybody. It's just like you have to be careful. You know, you don't wander around without knowing what you're doing. So one of the soldiers dies because they don't know that the plants will kill you. So they basically run the guy into a bush, and the bush cuts into ribbons. You know, there's a part where when she finds Camilla, there's all these plants that are like leeching onto her because she was laying there. So there's one in her wound, there's one on her head. And so she basically, like, Vesper has to pull all the tubers off her. And you see they're trying to reach back to her, and like she's waving them away like gnats. So they retreat when she waves at them, but they're not malicious. They're just looking for nutrition.
It's a biological, like,
apocalypse. It is never shown that any of the natural world is actively hunting anything. They just take what they can get where they can get it. They're like a lot of things where, if you know, and Vesper has created these kind of more almost semi-intelligent plants that communicate with her. When she puts her hand near them, they come up and touch it, but they're not trying to like get blood or anything. They're just kind of reacting to her as a living thing, stuff like that. So there are, I guess, like, you know, nice plants too, but a lot of what's in the world, and there's viruses and bacteria. Yeah. Again, the threats are all just of the natural world, but there's no predators. There's no, predatory anything as far as you can tell. It's very different in the fact that it's a lot of wet organic stuff. That's unusual. Even the drone's circuitry is all wetware, literal wetware, where it's like vines and I don't know, pods that are gooey and shit.
Of something like Bruce Sterling would have written or something like that.
Sure.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
So it sounds
great movie.
Sounds like you picked a winner.
Yeah. Yep. Take a hard swing into something that's good. That's it.
I mean, you wanted to get the taste of that out of your mouth, so yeah.
And I did. I chose, you know what? A lot of times with sci-fi now, go foreign and you're probably in for a good time. And that was definitely the case with this. I was very happy with it. So I would definitely, at some point we probably will watch it, because I would watch it again. There's a lot in it now that I know kind of how it was made, to just kind of look at the environment and be like, wow, look at all this stuff they did without having to use a green screen or, whatever. You can still do it if you just know how to shoot things.
There you go. So, if you've got the know-how and the heart, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And that's all I have. You don't have any other reviews before we get to Debs, right?
No.
Well, in that case,
you shut the fuck up!
Thanks for killing my mom.
Yeah, no problem.
See, white girls bore me.
You can eat shit and die, Colonel.
Just give me the essence of the thing, the juice, you know.
Even though technically we didn't watch a movie. Although I guess we did. We watched an 8-hour movie.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You didn't even want to juice after last season. That's how bad it was.
That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. There is no juice.
There was no juice.
No juice
you
to give.
You are correct. That movie has no juice. There's the review. After last season, no juice.
The show title was A New Low, but I'd rather say No Juice to Give. That's better. Yeah. Yeah. So we finished watching Devs, which will be out in its entirety commentary-wise in June of 2026, because I need a little space for me and Doug just talking about it. So that'll be out on the Patreon only. I'm not putting it on YouTube because that would get copyrighted to hell and back. So why bother? So it's just going to be on the Patreon. So each of those episodes will be in the middle 2 weeks of June. So Monday through Thursday, 1 episode a day, 1 commentary a day. And next year, there's something for you to look forward to, like a video game that's being announced 20 years before it comes out. I'm only doing it about 8 months beforehand. So, and I can tell you it won't be delayed because I've already uploaded them. So they're there. So I know I can commit to those dates. Short of Patreon, I don't know, collapsing in the next 2 months, which
Or, you know,
rule everything out.
collapsing.
Yeah, along with everything else.
I gotta say, Devs is not a show that lets you down. I did enjoy it. I think it was very well written. It was very well put together. And the ending... We're gonna have to get out of the way right away. That philosophically, this show.
Okay, I was like, okay, did he just short circuit? He said
No.
the ending.
Philosophically speaking, I'm finding a nice way of saying it. Philosophically, this show and I disagree. And this goes back to the age-old argument that Joe and that's not argument, but like the difference of philosophical opinion that Joe and I have on this, which is our difference of opinion on cloning and simulations and whatnot.
Well, there's actually 2 key differences. There's 2 things this show disagrees with you on. One is how cloning works,
yes.
and the other is if everything is caused by a pre-existing thing.
Yeah, I believe.
Although you did say, you did find a way to reconcile those two. That's right. You found a way to reconcile
yes,
that.
I found a way. I love it that we have to reconcile the philosophy of movies or shows. Anyway.
Well, we didn't really. I said that from the beginning because you were like, oh, well, I don't think.
I didn't
like,
think
well,
of it.
you kind of do. You just have to think
yeah.
of it this way.
Yeah, and I want to say, like, everybody in this show is so good. I mean, Nick Offerman, this is a fantastic role for him. And I can't remember the guy who plays Kenton, but Kenton is I mean, that guy's been in a lot of shit through the years. But he is excellent in this. Mm-hmm. Everybody's good. Whoever did the music supervisor or whoever who arranged the audio.
Ben Salisbury, the insects, and I feel like I'm missing one.
The arrangement of audio in this show is so specific and has such a profound effect on the experience you have. Yeah. It's one of those rare shows I watch where I was glad I watched it with headphones because I had like a full kind of in my head effect.
Yeah.
All of that is amazing. And I want to set up the fact that I think it's so good before I start fucking talking shit about it. Not even talking shit about it, actually. It's just philosophically parsing things out. Because the show has one of the more haunting endings I have ever seen. Mm-hmm. It did bother me. And it was funny because you were like, well, see, it's kind of an upbeat ending. And I was not at all.
Oh, it's definitely an upbeat ending.
You think
well,
it's
all right, let's do a fast summary. So because what we're talking most about is what this resolves in. So it's for an 8-hour show. It's very easy to summarize this quickly. A tech billionaire, a rich tech person, loses his wife and daughter in a car accident that he
feels that he may have
wrongly,
caused. He feels he may have caused.
Yes, how culpable he ultimately is left to the viewer. But he has a role in it. And so when they are killed, he decides to focus all of his money and any talent he can buy into creating the 13th floor to recreate his wife and daughter in a simulation that is both indistinguishable from reality, so you can be inserted into it because your essence of your consciousness. Hold on, I'm going by what the show's laying out. We can get into the differences in a minute. Yeah. This is what the show's saying: that you can be scanned, your entirety of yourself, whatever that comprises, soul, consciousness, intelligence, can be digitized, placed into this system so that it does not know it's not reality. And not only that, it is a system that is so powerful that because it is based on determinism, which means that every action can be mapped forwards and backwards, because once you understand what something is, you can understand every force that acts upon it and therefore not only know its history, but its future. And the goal of that is so that he can perfectly recreate, in particular, his daughter, but also his wife as a bonus, so that he can basically resurrect them and live with them in a simulation.
Yeah.
And what he wants is to know that the world that he's going into is the world with them as they were in perfection. What he ultimately is forced to accept is that the only way to make that system work, the actual computer system, is to apply a many worlds algorithm to it, meaning that every single possible variant of every single everything is simulated all at once. And that by inserting into it, he not only will exist in that perfect reality, but a version of himself will exist in every good or terrible version. And along with him is a young woman.
That till the very end. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't realize that that's what it's exactly going to be, because he says he makes that decision, that he gave all the versions awareness of the fact that.
Oh, I know. But the thing is, he didn't make the go.
Well, yeah, he did. He said, because there's a line where he says, we know, we're the only two people who know everything. And each of us, even in the good and bad versions, will know that.
I thought that was the engineer. It was what's her
name?
No,
because he says, I don't know if it was the right decision, but it's the one I made.
Okay.
So, because that's why he says the ones in the bad versions, the awful versions, will know that he made that decision. So he said he hoped that being aware that there would be a good one somewhere would offset the misery of where they are. But that's the ultimate end of the series, is that he and Lily, who's this young woman that they know is present when the system stops predicting the future, and they don't know why.
They know that she's important.
They think it's because she wrecks the system, which we find out. And I verified the question I had, that what you saw was correct, and it was intentionally made very, very hard to see unless you were looking for it. But you are correct that one of the engineers, Stewart, is in fact the one who crashes the elevator, not Lily shooting the window.
But the thing is, but Lily does break Forrest of his belief. That's what she breaks. I mean, Forrest breaks the
interesting part is
Stewart breaks the elevator.
The interesting part of that is, I think it's debatable if she broke anything.
No, but she broke Forrest. Forrest, up into that moment, felt like...
Because Forrest didn't know who was actually causing what happened. He thought it was her, it was Stewart.
He thought everything was on a rail. So he was expecting everything to just march along in the way that it was gonna. And when she throws the gun out of the elevator, and Forrest realizes that she's not gonna do it, I mean, they even say that basically Lily, she did the original thing that man did to God, disobedience.
And here's the thing.
Yeah.
I've thought about this actually since we watched it. I think Forrest is wrong. I don't think Forrest was focusing on the right thing either, because the rails are still intact. The problem is that once they applied many worlds, they were looking at the wrong rail. They were looking at a different world.
Oh, listen. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's lots of theories. You can go with lots of different.
But it also lines up with what Stewart says about, hey, it was predetermined.
Yeah. For me,
it's because he was always going to break it. So Forrest was right, just not in the way he thought.
As a show, it is very good, but I disagree. I hate the fucking the transporter beam thing. I'm gonna say it up front, just get out of the way, so I don't have to go back to it. I hate that for a show that is this smart and this that they didn't find a better way than just scanning and putting a copy in. Because the thing is that, to me, and this is my personal view of it, it's a copy of you in the system. Sure, it thinks it's you, but it'll always just be a copy of you, because the thing is, Forrest dies. He falls in the elevator and he dies. They scan his dead body and put him into the system. So there is a ghost in the machine that thinks it's Forrest. It's not immortality. It's not even an afterlife. Forrest, as we know him, in whatever happens when you die, has died in the world. And a copy of him has been put in the game. And that, to me, feels like, okay, now we're following a copy of Forrest who is aware of all the things that happened to Forrest. That is my own personal philosophy of how these things work. I know that you think a copy is just the same, except, I mean, they aren't the same because there's a dead body laying on the floor.
Whoa, no.
Yeah.
Hold on. It's not that I think a copy is the same, because in this world, this universe of this world, of this show, it's not a copy. It is the same thing as the show's rules lay out. Now, I'm not talking about real world.
But Forrest
I'm not talking
is dead.
about if that doesn't matter. See, you're hung up on that, but in this universe, that doesn't matter because physicality is irrelevant. Determinism eliminates any physicality because it's preserved.
And I think that's
essentially
where the writing of the show
your many worlds supports my version of it, because what they've done is put his awareness into a body that exists virtually, that is indistinguishable from a physical one. If there's no distinguishing difference, who cares?
But it's not his awareness; it's a copy of his awareness.
No, it is not. See,
not like
you are applying. You are incorrect. I'm sorry. You are incorrect in what the show. Don't do that. You can't.
Psychology.
Well, then you're not. Then you didn't see the same show I did. The show is saying you're wrong and I'm right. Not in reality.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Inside the show.
Okay, but this is the transporter beam problem. This is people.
Yes, but the show is saying the transporter is correct. Not that you're agreeing with it, but that's what the show is saying is right. If you're going to power
so what you're saying is, for the magic MacGuffin of the show, their magic doohickey works.
Works. Yes, you have to accept that, or the show doesn't matter, or you shouldn't watch it. If you can't.
Well, no. See, I think that's where you're incorrect. I think the show is perfectly watchable, but for me, it's more about the fact that Forrest was never going to be with his child. Forrest, a copy of Forrest was going to live in a simulation with a simulation of his daughter and his child that may be almost like the same as being real. But it was never going to be Forrest's narrative. It was always going to be a copy of Forrest that was in there. Because if Forrest hadn't died, right, it's not like they could shove the physical form of Forrest into the machine.
And that's where I disagree, because the rules of this show say, yes, you can.
You can shove physical Forrest into the simulation?
There is no physical form. It doesn't matter.
But then what do you do with Forrest 1?
You just burn them. I don't know. You chew them up. You eat them.
But
who cares?
making a copy of him did not. It's making a copy. It doesn't destroy the original. You still have an original Forrest in the real universe. They sidestepped the problem by killing him.
They made a complete, perfect copy of him, which is the same as if he still was alive. So two of the same Forrest could exist.
But
so it doesn't matter.
But what I'm saying is, what if Forrest 1 hadn't died? Would he just be standing in the real world watching the copy of him?
In fact, that's kind of what they're implying happens in some of the bad versions of other worlds, or many worlds, is that there is a Forrest who is alive with the wife and daughter still dead. Or worse, maybe, I guess he's poor.
I know, but
I don't know what the worst versions are.
But so we're clear. Forrest 1, if he hadn't died, would still be in the real world just watching his copy go live happily ever after in some of the realities. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nope.
That is the only difference.
As long as we
establish that one would be watching the other.
Yeah, as long as we establish that Forrest 1 would still be there, that Forrest 1's consciousness wouldn't have magically left his body and transferred into the device. That Forrest
it doesn't
1
leave; it just multiplies.
Exactly, it just multiplies. Yeah. But that Forrest 1 is dead. The story of his life has ended there on the floor of the depth facility.
Every one of the many worlds is a different Forrest with differing things, but they all, at the point of insertion, are the same.
Once we get to that point, it is a haunting ending because the director chooses to show you a happy ending, but hints at the fact that there's a lot of not happy endings.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was thinking about the bell curve.
This is where, to me, the main point of the show is the morality of it. The morality is really what you have to examine in this, is what is the morality of being so selfish that you doom some infinite number, whatever, I guess not infinite, but whatever, however many variations there would be of yourself to worse lives because you just want to get back to your
Not
perfection.
just yourself, but also Lily. I mean, listen, Lily wasn't necessarily a likable character, but she didn't deserve, to die and then to have her copy cast
I don't
into-
disagree, but my suspicion is Lily at that point at the end of the show was probably like, well, almost anything's going to be better than this because I'm going to kill you and probably kill myself next. So fuck it. My story's ending one way or another. So
and here's the thing is that you don't know how any of those lilies are going to fare, because the thing is to have, I mean, listen, it can't be easy to live in a simulation. 'Cause she even says to him at one point, she's like, what do I do now? And he's like, hey, you just live your life. And it's like, well, can you do that? How much therapy is in Lily's future? Does the company cover that? I mean, like, how many lilies die from suicide?
I would imagine quite a few, but the interesting part is that it gives Lily something that I think a lot of people wish they could do is, okay, I had somebody who was actually a perfect match for me and I lost them because I was made a mistake or whatever.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I mean, who knows? Look, I don't doubt that that there were issues.
You know what? Actually, we never
kind
know.
of acknowledge that.
We never find out what happened, how they broke up.
We don't, but we get a little bit of it where he says, where she's saying that she knows better. And he's like, now I remember what it was like dating you. So obviously it's not like they might not break up again in a year, but what you kind of,
wouldn't that be
what
a
I
thing?
think, well, it would, but I think that what the show is demonstrating, at least with Jamie, is that he is actually a good guy.
Oh, he is.
Jamie,
the character of Jamie is the only good guy in the whole show.
The only purely good person. And I think what you're meant to hope for Lily is that she has realized Jamie's value through all the things he did, literally dying for her. Since we don't know of any major problems with Jamie, like, him beating her or anything, he seems to be a good guy. That knowing that she has somebody who genuinely cares about her will have her now value him in a way she didn't before. That's what it kind of leaves you with.
An interesting perspective on this show is to say that two people experienced an event where they had a vision of an alternate timeline version of themselves. And on returning to their world, right? They then knew to do better than what they had been doing. So,
right.
Forrest is infinitely happy with his wife and child now, and Jamie realizes that she shouldn't be with her boyfriend, that she should be with her previous boyfriend, Jamie. Right? That is what the takeaway. That is one way to interpret it. I do like the many worlds idea because, yes, I mean, it's the idea that somewhere everyone's happy. So, one of the things that really bugged me in this show is the way they handle Lyndon. In a weird way, they kind of convince Lyndon, you might as well kill yourself because in some versions, you will be back in devs and you'll be happy. And if it's not this version, it'll be in another version. So, it's okay. And Lyndon's like, yeah, you're right. It's an act of faith. I have to show that I have faith in the system. Well, Lyndon is happy in this version. I'm not saying that I disagree with how Lyndon is treated. But Lyndon, at least there are versions of Lyndon that are in the multi-dimensional theory. There are versions of Lyndon that are happy. There are always going to be versions that are happy that are unhappy. It is haunting in that it is, it's haunting in that it's an idea that gets thrown at you right at the end. That never gets addressed earlier on. They're like, well, there's many dimensions, many universes, many possibilities, but no one ever says, there's going to be some real hellscapes out there. And even the way when he's explaining to it, and it kind of cuts to like a weird red cloud hellscape version of where they are, then it cuts back to them. It's like, yeah, that's a really haunting concept to drop right at the end. Is to say, it's almost like we are infinitely gifted and infinitely punished all at once. We get everything that some version of us gets everything that we want, and some version of us gets, just torture, possibly. We are immediately in every heaven, and we are immediately in every hell. Ad infinity. It is a crazy concept to just I wish they gave it more. I wish there was more. I don't know. It just feels like it goes by so fast for being, to me, one of the things, that ending that knocks me sideways. Like if there was a part of this show that was like a sideways sucker punch that just left me like just spinning. To get to that point where everything is already so weird, and to have Forrest be like, by the way, half of us are in hell. Like, but we aren't. We got lucky, and you're like,
Well,
oh shit. There's
There,
yeah.
I had a thought about that. I feel like they actually even soft pedaled that, because the way I would have done
Yeah.
the red tinted one is Lily would have been in a hospital room and Forrest would have been dying in like 2 days from death of some disease, saying some of us are suffering, and I thought the knowledge would make this
you
easier.
know what? You know how I would have done it differently?
Yeah.
I'd thought about this. The way I would have done it, and it would have been I think you still could have a happy ending, is that you do everything up to the elevator and all that stuff, right? And then Forrest going into the system. You do all that. It's the same. Except when Lily wakes up and everything's like normal again, right? She does something like what you're talking about. She's in a hospital. She's in a dirty hospital. She's suffering. The world looks terrible. You allude to the fact that there's, like everything has gone wrong. Global warming, right? She's in a terrible world. It's very near apocalyptic, right? And then they say, "Oh, well, you have a visitor." And it's Forrest, and it's a Forrest who has now lost all his money. He's dying of some cancer or another, and he basically comes to her almost for like penance, and he says, "Hey," he's like, "We're in the system. This is a simulation." And honestly, a similar speech to what she gets when she sees him in the thing, and basically says, "Some of us are in a worst case scenario." He's like, "Some of us are not." And as he walks out of the room and the door closes, you snap the scene, and all of a sudden, it's Lily again, and she's waking up, just like she did, except this time, she's in her bedroom, like they do in the show. And then you run the rest of it like the show ran it. And it's this idea of, oh, okay, I want you to understand how bad some of this shit is, so that when you get the happy ending, I feel like if you do that, it almost makes the positive ending even more positive, because you're like, oh shit, this could get really bad. And now we have the positive ending where she finds Jamie and Forrest gets his kid. And the thing is, I'm not against Forrest finding his kid. Like, I think it is great that, he does some bad things, and all he wants is his kid, and he gets it. A version of him gets it. A version of his is willing to accept 50% negativity in existence for the 50% possibility of being with his child in some format, right? And honestly, if you go by the bell curve, listen, 50% of the universes are probably just fucking boring, like they're slightly bad or they're slightly good, right? It's really only like at the ends where you get like, there's like maybe a 10% good universes and then like a 10% really bad universes, and everything else is kind of just, when you put it in a kind of a mindset like that, yes, 50% of the universe he has his daughter, 50% he doesn't. But out of those 50s, only 10% are like ideal on one end or horrible on the other. So the odds are not so bad. But either way, that's the way I would have done it. I would have made it so that you had more of a concept of how bad it could be. Because I think for me, it was the idea that there's almost a penance in it. That, it's like there's reward, but there's also like punishment. You don't just get the thing you want. There are an infinite number of you not winning. I just wish that I understand the directorial concept to end it positively, and that you didn't have enough time necessarily maybe to have included that. But I personally would have liked it if they had given us more of a concept, so that at the end you can sit there and say, okay, was it worth it, Forrest? Like, if we can see what not happy Forrest looks like. Because really what you get is you really only see happy Forrest, and you sit there and go, well, the negativity is almost it's theoretical at that point. you see a red sky, it looks a little crappy, but it's not like you get an idea of the suffering. You know what I mean? I mean, he implies that the suffering is that he doesn't have his child. You know? Yeah. Thoughts?
No, I don't disagree. You could have re-emphasized it, but I think they were trying to. I think the point was supposed to be to make they didn't want you to forget about the misery, but I think the idea was that in the end, you have one person, you have two people, I should say, who are in a happy ending. One who is morally in the clear, pretty much. I mean, Lily didn't bring any of this on herself.
No, not at all. No,
that we know of.
Lily is reacting to
and
to
Forrest
forces against her.
And Forrest is a murderer who has convinced himself that he's not a murderer because the universe made him do what he did, and he has no actual involvement.
You know what? When Stuart says that at the end, after the elevator drop, it's like, don't be angry with me. It was all, what does he say? It was all predicted.
It was predetermined.
It was all predetermined. It's like, to just throw it back at them. Like, I love that. Yeah.
Well, because Stuart's the one who gets it. I mean, Stuart says he can't be in charge of this stuff.
No, he can't. I mean, what do you say? How can somebody who has no interest in history have control of something like this?
Yeah. Well, he says, I don't remember the exact line. It was something along the lines of, how does somebody with this level of control, know so little?
Yeah.
Something along those lines. Yeah. Yeah.
And listen, the idea of a system like that, it's very sexy. It's this idea that you could now look at any point in history. And what's funny is that towards the end there, Forrest does, in that, he's watching the cave girl. And he's interested in kind of there is some kind of interest. Like, it's just that is not what Forrest is after.
Well, no, what Forrest is, the fascination is in that they stayed in the cave for that long, because he's like, how could you not have progressed faster?
Yeah. So
he's more baffled by the slow pace. He wants everything done immediately.
Well, it's because, we're the things are getting faster.
Yeah.
The show addresses a lot of heavy ideas. Though I disagree with some of their end results, I agree with most of it. And like you said, within the context of its own show, hey, listen, within the context of Star Trek, the transporter beams work. So I will accept that. But we agree the fact that Forrest 1 is lying on the floor dead. So, yeah. And that Infinite Forrest is now in this system.
Yeah.
So I enjoy it. It's great. Alex Arnold is good. I mean, his I don't know who he got to help him write this, because there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of research he was gonna have to do to get this right.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't. And that's not a dig on him. That's a writing thing. It's the whole you got to do your research. No,
this feels like somebody who found somebody talking about many worlds and was like, holy shit. So there is actually not realistic, but there is real theory saying this could be possible. What could that mean?
Yeah, no,
and then kind of spiraling off and checking in with people. Because I believe the woman who gives the lecture in the third episode is an actual professor at some very prestigious university in this type of philosophy.
I thought she was an actress, because she was in. Hold on one second.
Oh, let me look.
She was in the movie, the David Tennant show, Good Omens. She was in season 2 of Good Omens.
Let me see if
maybe she still is, and they just happened to put her in that as well.
Oh yeah, it could be.
Season 2 of Good Omens.
Stephen Hawking showed up and stuff. So
yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. So it's very possible that she, Liz Carr, that's her name. Let's see, Liz Carr, comedian, broadcaster, and international disability rights activist. No, not a.
Oh, okay.
Not a scientist.
Yeah.
Yeah. But honestly, it's interesting giving her that position of power in the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, she shows up in Doctor Who as well, doesn't she? Hold on one second. She's
That
shown
could
up a
be.
few. She's shown up in a few things. Let's see. She was in Les Mis. Devs. She was in Loki. I mean, she's been around. She's good. She was in Loki, Good Omens. Oh, she was in The Witcher.
Oh, well, you would know that better than me.
Oh, man. Speaking of poor decisions. You know what? Actually, do you feel that we have concluded our review of Devs?
Yeah, I'm just looking to see if Alex Garland has talked at all about where it came from. I was just curious about this to see what the genesis of the story was.
Because my wife and I had a funny conversation about fucking Henry Cavill.
Oh,
Because we were talking about Henry Cavill's replacement.
yeah.
And I was saying to her about how if James Gunn had announced that he was doing it like a Superman reboot, but had said that he was keeping Henry Cavill in the role, I would have been fine with that. And I didn't I don't know why, but yeah, I was just like, yeah, you know what? I would have been fine with that. I'm so fine with Henry Cavill in a lot of the roles that he's in. And I don't know what it is. I think maybe it's the fact that he comes off as such a nice guy, but he puts so much effort into these roles. And I feel like the guy. Listen, I think that the guy they got for the new Superman, I like him. He seems fun, but I mean, there is an intensity that he's not Henry Cavill. And I didn't like Man of Steel, but I like Henry Cavill. So it's just funny because now you've replaced Henry Cavill in The Witcher, and I mean it's so bad. I tried watching a few scenes from it, and they replaced him with is it Hemsworth? Which Hemsworth? One of the Hemsworth, not the good one.
Not Chris.
Liam
Well,
Hemsworth.
I mean, yeah,
It's Liam Hemsworth. And it's not that he's a bad actor, but he's not fucking Henry Cavill. And it's like, I'm sorry, man, but in this situation, not being Henry Cavill is not gonna cut it. And I feel bad because it's the whole, well, it's a role, other people can play it. But yeah, I just realized that I thought Henry Cavill was a good enough actor that despite hating Man of Steel, I would have loved to see Henry Cavill in a better Superman movie. I think that James Gunn's Superman is a better Superman movie than Man of Steel, and I would have liked to see Henry Cavill in it. So it's a funny weird thing to yeah. So yeah, I guess the moral of the story is that don't replace Henry Cavill, just use him. He's good. You like Henry Cavill?
I do, but I also, I don't know that. Okay, just because the Hemsworth guy is not the best choice, I do believe that anybody can play a role, though.
No, and that's the thing. I
They
think
just
anyone
didn't
can play
get the
a role
right
too.
replacement.
But I think the problem is that they only replaced Cavill, so everyone else is still there, right?
Well, that is a little weird. Yeah.
Yeah. And just in general, it's a bad season. I think I told you at one point we were talking that there's a group of.
Well, I think that's the larger problem. Is you wouldn't
It's a
care so
bad
much about the
season
replacement if
on
the
top of that.
writing was better.
Yeah. On top of that, it's a bad season, and there's a really great example because, oh god, what's his name? Fucking hell, he's Murdoch in the new 18 movie. He was he's a South African actor. Hold on, what is his name?
Not Bradley
Who was
Cooper.
No, he's not. He played Murdoch.
I don't know who. I never saw the remake.
Oh,
whatever.
jeez, what's his
I don't know who it is.
name? Was that 2010? Is that 2010? Yeah, 2010.
Sure.
Charlotte Copley. That was his name. Charlotte Copley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Charlotte Copley is in
Oh yeah,
the new
Bradley
season.
Cooper's not South African.
Is he? Is that South African? What is he?
No, Bradley Cooper isn't. That's why I'm like, it could have been Bradley Cooper. He's not South African.
Charlotte Copley is South African, but he has a role in the new Witcher show, and they've said that he's probably one of the only good things in it. But he's a bad guy. who basically fights other Witchers. At one point, he has a really great fight with Dolph Lundgren, who comes in as an older Witcher, which I saw that scene and I was like, you know what? I actually do like that scene. But this, I think we said when your villain brings all the best parts of the show, it doesn't say a lot for your heroes, right? So in this,
Yeah.
there's this role of young, brash thief characters that you're supposed to kind of like, you know, they're little rascals, right? You're supposed to like them. And yet they come off really fucking annoying. I mean, I watched a few scenes trying to be like, maybe they aren't as bad. No, man, they fucking suck. And towards the end of the show, Charlotte Copley shows up and kills all of them. And not even in like a nice way. I mean, he fucking slaughters their ass. He kills the whole group very quickly, horribly, and you kind of root for him. And I'm kind of like, what does that say about a show when the bad guy shows up, starts killing what's supposed to be your good guys, and you're like, yeah, kill them all, fuck those bastards. So yeah, it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing what they did with that show. But yeah, on top of replacing Henry Cavill, it was also a bad season. So, which is a shame because, you know, the other people, the other regulars from that show are good. They're just not good enough without Cavill. You know, I mean, think about that. Any role can be recast, but think of it's like if you took Ben Browder out of Farscape, it'd still be Farscape, but like Ben Browder was like the heart of Farscape. Do you know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
So it's that kind of thing. It just doesn't work. You know, and like I like the new guy.
It can work, but the writing has to be up to the.
Yeah.
The change of the actor has to be the one thing people need to get used to.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is like, who's a good Henry Cavill replacement? If you had to find an actor that you would, you know, an alternate dimension. Here's our multi-universe thing. If you had an alternate dimension where every Henry Cavill role had to go to somebody else, the same actor, who would be the person? Do you think would be as close to Henry Cavill as you could find?
Well, I mean, it's tough to say that because are we talking about in physicality or somebody who could act? Because I mean, he's jacked.
In every way.
Well, then I don't know because I don't know anybody else who's that combination of jacked and can do the serious stuff like that.
Yeah.
That isn't. I mean, I guess. Well, okay. You know what? Actually, I shouldn't say that. Idris Elba.
Wow. All right, hold on. I want to let that roll over
Idris
my brain
Elba
for a bit.
is in pretty good shape, and he can act anything.
Oh man, Black Superman. I mean, Black Superman would have been good. Man
Well, there was a
Steel
Black
indeed.
Superman in the comics, so
I know that, but I'm
obviously,
saying, you know,
in the current climate, it would be decried as
Jesus,
woke
hold
nonsense.
on.
But
Hold on. I want to play this game. I'm going to Henry Cavill's IMDb, and I'm going to recast every role.
ooh, this is fun. Hold on.
With fucking Idris Elba.
No, this is great. Hold on, let's take a look.
I gotta get there. Hold on.
Deadpool and Wolverine. Oh, well, that's because he's a version.
He had a cameo.
Okay,
yeah.
mystery.
Hey, let's.
I haven't seen a lot of these.
No, I've seen a few. Let's say. Okay, so I'm thinking of the good ones.
Mission Impossible Fallout.
Was
yeah.
he in
he could do that.
Hellraiser? Oh,
No.
Hellraiser, Hellworld.
Oh. Well, I never saw any of the sequels after the fourth one.
Okay.
I did see one, but it wasn't the one with him.
Right?
But yes, you're right. I saw a review. He was in a Hellraiser sequel, and he's
Immortals.
Oof.
That is a really good movie. But you know what? I could see in 2011. I could totally see Idris Elba doing that.
Sure.
I think he would have been excellent. Man of
Sure.
Steel. I think
He was
Idris
in
Elba
Stardust.
could have done that. Yeah, but he was a small role in Stardust.
Yeah, he could have done that. Yeah.
Man from Uncle, Batman v
Sure.
Superman, Mission Impossible. Man, you really nailed it. Like, I mean, I would totally watch Idris Elba as The Witcher. I mean, I think you know what? Even Enola Holmes, where he plays Sherlock Holmes, I would. Oh, man, Idris Elba. I mean, he was already a bit of a detective in Luther, so I'd see fucking Idris Elba as Sherlock Holmes. Wow, I think you nailed it with that one. Good job.
The thing that was throwing me was the physique, and then and honestly, actually, what was really throwing me was all I was thinking of was white guys, and then I'm like, why?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with anything? And as soon as I ditched that, I knew exactly what it was going to be.
Yeah, man, good job. Because like even now, imagining those movies with Idris Elba in them, it's like it's so interesting to have. I mean, and the thing is, I like Henry Cavill, but Idris Elba is also really good, and sticking him in those roles would be so fascinating as well.
Also, everybody, a perfect real-world expression of unconscious bias, because my default was, what other white guy could I replace him with? And until I jettisoned that, I couldn't come up with anybody.
Hold on. I just want to see if anybody did this. Idris Elba.
Because the first person I came up with initially, but then I realized the acting wasn't there, was Jason Statham. And I'm like, nope, can't act it.
Oh my god!
So
you know what?
People,
people have done mock-ups of Idris Elba as The Witcher, and
I know what I'm doing.
He looks good with the white hair. I gotta say,
I'm sure he does.
I mean, oh yeah. Well, there you go. It's nice to end on a happy note.
Yep. Yeah. There's your Many Worlds version of The Witcher, where it's Idris Elba. Might still be going.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, there you go.
Well, on that note, everybody. Oh God, I don't know what I clicked on there, but it was opening a program. Like, stop! Don't do that. Don't open any other programs. I don't want to tempt the balance. So, yeah. So, you know what? Overall, I think most of our reviews were. Well, we had one middling, one avoid, and 2 watches. So that's good. On balance, it was more than a 50%er. So I'm happy with that. So you have some options there. The only bad part about Devs is that you can't buy it in 4K, which it richly deserves.
That is still interesting, the fact that it's you can't, yeah.
I mean, whatever. There's stuff that comes out on 4K, and I sit there and go, does this really need a 4K? You know? I mean, you know what? Hold on. To go back to something you said earlier, I'm going to look something up, because I bet you it does. Hold on. Hold on. Is that in a 4K? I'm trying to see. Interesting. I see conflicting information. I was wondering if The Hangover had a 4K.
Is it
The
Disney
Hangover does not. Okay.
Disney has it in the 4K HDR on Disney Plus, but yes, to download you can't buy it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But it is a 4K.
You know. And that's fine, except that it's not real. Okay.
I know. You can't. Yeah. I get what you're saying.
It's compressed 4K. It's not what a disc 4K would look like. And the thing is, all right, and just because I want to be clear about this, because I often complain about like video games where I'm like, do I really care if something's ray traced? Oh, no, there is a Hangover digital 4K. Yeah, same bullshit. If I'm going to get a 4K of something, then I want every bit of the quality possible. Otherwise, I might as well just stick with Blu-ray, which is still very good looking and it'll get upscaled.
It was filmed in incredible quality too, so
that's what I'm saying. Is there shit that comes out on 4K where I sit there and go, the 4K's not giving you anything. It really isn't. Like most comedies in 4K are pointless. They're not, and it's not because those extra pixels aren't getting you anything. The quality is in the writing.
No, you're right. There's no 4K version of it available.
Yeah, if they released all George Carlin's specials in 4K, his HBO specials, and Blu-ray, I'd buy the Blu-ray. Because what is that 4K giving me about him walking around on a stage? Nothing.
No, they just said they wanted to do it,
Yeah, I would like it in more than the standard depth that the DVDs I have now are, because, it would be a little crisper.
Yeah.
And some of the sets are nice, but it would never warrant a 4K.
Yeah.
Whereas Devs has beautiful cinematography.
It does, yeah.
And rich sound that you would want to have in as many channels as possible if you had that setup. Because
I really wonder what the hang up on that is.
Oh, let's see. Devs 4K. Is there any information?
I mean, I didn't say it. I just said there wasn't any. There was no plan for
No,
it.
I know, but sometimes they'll say, oh, well, here, this person said they found it.
Yeah, but it's on bootlegs.
Australia 4K. Okay.
Streaming.
Yeah, I agree, but they're saying Ex Machina was released in 4K, which is a good sign. I rewatched Devs.
And also, how old is Devs at this point?
Not 5 years. That's all.
That's what I mean. 5 years. It still
that's
hasn't
enough
released.
that it should be released. I agree.
Yeah.
You know what? It probably.
But you know what? Listen, Willow went away. They pulled Willow
That's what I see.
altogether.
That's what I'm saying.
Willow's just gone.
Yeah.
And it's
So
like
now
well,
my goal, is to get the HDR versions, to get the 4K versions somewhere. Because if I can't buy them, then I'll find them.
yeah.
I mean, not that I'm
Did they-
advocating
Oh, you know
piracy,
what?
but I'm
It
advocating
looks-
piracy.
Did they release? It looks like Willow season 1 did get released finally.
Oh, good. So then there's hope for devs then.
Yeah, there you go.
That's great.
So the Willow series was finally released. You can get a Blu-ray version of it. Good.
Oh, that's good.
Good, because my kids asked to watch that the other day. I was like, I don't know where you can find it. Maybe it's actually streaming again. Is it streaming again?
Willow? No, I don't think. Well, I mean, if it is, I didn't realize it.
No longer available to stream on Disney Plus. You bitches.
Yeah. Man, the amount of people. Oh, wow. Man, people watching devs for the first time 3 months ago. Wow. Interesting. A lot of ending thoughts. I
tried to avoid it.
Is Lily supposed to be on the spectrum? Well, that was my read.
Oh yeah, I got that as well.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Somebody did a film version to cut it down, which I sort of understand, but at the same time, you're missing a lot that way because I think that the slowness is intentional. I think you're supposed to kind of spend time with it and get it. Yeah.
Well,
interesting. There's a lot of debate. Your debate is alive and well in here, let me tell you. Man, some of these people who are like, okay, this does not make any sense. Forrest is dead. How can he exist in a computer? So you know, look, there's other people.
Well, but that's what we said. Forrest 1 is dead.
No, but
Forrest
what they're saying is
are...
what you say in reality would happen if you copied is what they think is happening in the show, and that's because I think they're missing the fact that you have to look at what the show is saying.
Transporter beam. Yes. Yeah, you have to
Yes.
accept that the ship has a transporter beam.
Right.
And once you accept that, that is the logic of the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, before we reopen the debate.
I don't know. We're not going to. I'm just always curious.
Oh, by the way, you got to hit your button.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we're well past it, but you're right. Where's the button? If I get to a point where I realize we're more than 50 minutes past, I just don't do it anymore. But sure.
Okay.
200 hours later.
No, I'm keeping it alive.
Yeah. Yeah, see, this person's like, I forced myself to accept the show's version of it because otherwise there's no impact if they're just copies. So see, yeah, I think that's what you have to do, is you have to go with what they're saying. Otherwise, yeah, the ending will be miserable. Yeah. Oh. Wow. This person has, all right, just one thing, which I don't think either of us would agree with, but this is interesting because it does show people can have different interpretations. One sentence, or two sentences. They weren't resurrected at all. The versions of them we see in the end were always in there. The machine simulates everything, remember?
Yeah. Oh, no, they were always in there. All they did was upload the
awareness.
Remember I said to you that it's like they were all these people suddenly had a vision of an alternate version of themselves.
Well,
right?
I yes, no doubt about it. But their awareness was resurrected.
If anything,
depending on what term you want to use.
You switched their rails around in that you took their memories away and you gave them the memories of the other rail.
Oh, you know what?
But those people were always there.
Hold on. This might be something that I have to read now. Because I saw anybody who likes this type of brain fucking wants more. And I'm like, well, okay, what?
Oh, good.
Should play the game Soma, which I've never played, but I heard was very good, or read the book Foe. What is Foe? Science fiction novel by Canadian writer Ian Reid. A philosophical suspense story set in the near future about a married couple living on a remote farm whose lives are thrown in turmoil when a stranger arrives. Okay, well then I guess I know who the stranger must be. Or, a version of. Interesting. Yeah. Huh. Wow.
Well, I'm going to read up on some of the ending stuff. Maybe next time we can revisit.
Well, I'm going to put this faux book on my list because this sounds
advanced ideas on it.
Yeah, this is an interesting book. Philosophical suspense story. Okay.
But,
All right, everybody. Well, on that note, whatever version of yourself has listened to this, hopefully one of them enjoyed it. We know one of them hated it.
Listen, I loved Idris Elba in The Witcher.
I just hope there isn't a version of myself out in the multiverse that's Joe Rogan somehow. Oh God. Or at least I don't know I don't know that I'm out there like that. I don't want to be the terrible version of myself. I don't want to be a more terrible version of myself. So, in that way, I agree with Reagan Mr. Reagan that sometimes ignorance is bliss. And on that note, everybody, whatever you do with your weekend and whatever world you do it in, have a good time, and we'll talk to you again next week. Visit OzoneNightmare.com to subscribe to new episodes, browse through our back catalog, or to find links to support the show. Follow @OzoneNightmare on Twitter for the latest episode postings and other show information. If 280 characters just isn't enough, you can always email us, theozonenightmare@gmail.com. The opening theme for the show is provided by Heartbeat Hero. The closing theme is provided by Ogre. Please visit and support these artists using the links in the show notes for each episode.